Welcome to the foundational episode of our series on balanced leadership. Today, we're diving into the core philosophy that will guide us throughout this journey. Leadership is not about finding the one perfect style, but about mastering the art of balance. Many believe there's a single best way to lead, but the reality is far more nuanced. Effective management requires us to navigate between opposing forces, adapting our approach to fit the situation and the people involved. In this episode, we'll introduce the key principles of balanced leadership and set the stage for a deeper exploration of what it truly means to lead with equilibrium. Start by debunking one of the most persistent myths in management: the idea that there's a single, universally effective leadership style. In reality, clinging to one approach can limit your effectiveness and even harm your team. Whether it's being overly directive or excessively supportive, relying too much on one style creates imbalance. True leadership is about flexibility, knowing when to push, when to support, and how to adjust your style to the needs of the moment. This episode will help you recognize the dangers of over-reliance and open your mind to a more dynamic way of leading. Balanced leadership rests on three essential principles. First, avoid the excessive use of any one approach. Too much of anything, even a good thing, can backfire. Second, apply contradictory procedures in mutual equilibrium. This means blending directive and engaging styles, or balancing operational focus with strategic thinking. Third, always evaluate situations carefully and react appropriately. These principles form the foundation for effective, adaptive leadership. Throughout this series, we'll revisit these ideas and see how they play out in real-world scenarios. Many managers fall into the trap of over-relying on their preferred leadership style. For some, this means pushing relentlessly for performance, which can lead to burnout and resentment. For others, it's about being overly supportive, which may erode their authority and create confusion. Recognizing this tendency is the first step toward change. By understanding the risks of over-reliance, you can begin to develop a more balanced, effective approach that serves both your team and your organization. Let's look at two common extremes: the performance-driven manager and the overly supportive leader. The first focuses so much on results that team morale suffers, while the second prioritizes harmony at the expense of accountability. Both approaches have their strengths, but when used in isolation, they create problems. The art of leadership lies in knowing when to push for results and when to offer support, finding the right mix for each situation. Help us understand balanced leadership, we introduce the complex model of managerial work. This model combines two important distinctions: Cotter's idea of management versus leadership, and the difference between interpersonal and organizational aspects. By mapping these onto two axes, how we lead and what we focus on, we create a matrix that helps clarify the different approaches available to managers. Cotter's distinction between management and leadership is central to our model. Management is about doing things right, focusing on processes, efficiency, and consistency. Leadership, on the other hand, is about doing the right thing, setting direction, inspiring people, and driving change. Both are essential, but they require different mindsets and skills. Balanced leaders know how to switch between these modes as needed. Second axis in our model distinguishes between interpersonal and organizational aspects of leadership. Interpersonal skills are about how we relate to others: communication, motivation, and engagement. Organizational skills focus on what we do: planning, executing, and strategizing. Effective leaders must balance both, adapting their approach to the needs of their team and the demands of the organization. By combining these two axes, we create a matrix of leadership approaches. On the how axis, we have directive versus engaging styles. On the what axis, we have execution, operations versus strategy. This matrix helps us see where our natural tendencies lie and where we might need to stretch ourselves to achieve better balance. Directive leaders focus on giving clear instructions and maintaining control. Engaging leaders, in contrast, prioritize involvement and collaboration. Both styles have their place, but relying too heavily on one can create problems. The key is to recognize when each style is appropriate and to develop the flexibility to move between them as needed. On the what axis, we balance execution, getting things done efficiently, with strategy, setting long-term direction. Some leaders excel at operations but struggle with vision, while others are great strategists but lack follow-through. Balanced leadership means integrating both, executing today's tasks while keeping an eye on tomorrow's goals. Most managers have a natural preference for one quadrant of the leadership matrix. Some are naturally directive and operational, while others are engaging and strategic. The challenge is to recognize your default style and understand its strengths and limitations. Self-awareness is the first step toward achieving greater balance. Research shows that only about 10% of managers naturally balance an engaging style with a strategic focus. This means most leaders have room to grow. Achieving balance is not about perfection, but about progress, making small adjustments that lead to better outcomes for your team and your organization. It's important to understand that balance is not a static state. The needs of your team, your organization, and the environment are always changing. Effective leaders develop the ability to sense these shifts and adjust their approach accordingly. This dynamic skill is what sets balanced leaders apart from the rest. Let's introduce the concept of mental models, internal frameworks that shape how we perceive situations and make decisions. Every leader has a unique mental model of what leadership means, influenced by experience, culture, and personality. These models guide our actions, often unconsciously, and can either help or hinder our ability to achieve balance. Mental models are powerful because they filter our perceptions and shape our responses. If your model is incomplete or biased, you may overlook important information or react in ways that create imbalance. By becoming aware of your mental models, you can start to question your assumptions and make more intentional choices as a leader. and our mental models are incomplete, we tend to favor certain behaviors and neglect others. This creates disharmony within our teams and organizations. For example, a leader who values control above all else may stifle creativity, while one who prioritizes harmony may avoid necessary conflict. Achieving balance requires us to expand and refine our mental models. So how do we achieve balance as leaders? The path involves both external and internal work. Externally, we need to change our behavior, using neglected approaches more often and dialing back on overused ones. Internally, we must engage in self-reflection to understand why we favor certain styles and avoid others. This dual approach is essential for lasting change. Changing your leadership behavior starts with awareness. Notice which styles you tend to overuse and which you neglect. Then make a conscious effort to practice new approaches even if they feel uncomfortable at first. Over time, these new behaviors will become more natural, helping you achieve greater balance. Self-reflection is the internal side of the equation. Take time to examine your beliefs about leadership and consider where they come from. Are you avoiding certain behaviors out of fear or habit? Are you overusing others because they feel safe? Honest self-reflection can reveal the roots of your preferences and open the door to real growth. Several barriers can stand in the way of balanced leadership. These include polarized preferences, favoring one style to the exclusion of others, fear of losing control or authority, and inaccurate self-assessment. Recognizing these barriers is the first step to overcoming them and moving toward a more balanced approach. Polarized preferences occur when we become attached to a single way of leading. This can be comforting, but it limits our effectiveness. Balanced leaders are willing to step outside their comfort zones and experiment with new approaches, even if it feels risky at first. Fear is a powerful barrier to balanced leadership. We may fear losing control, being seen as weak, or making mistakes. These fears can keep us stuck in old patterns, even when we know change is needed. Facing these fears is an essential part of personal and professional growth. Another common barrier is inaccurate self-assessment. Many leaders believe they are more balanced than they actually are. This overconfidence can prevent us from seeing areas where we need to improve. Seeking feedback from others and being open to honest self-evaluation are crucial steps toward greater balance. Achieving balanced leadership is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing effort, reflection, and a willingness to adapt. In the episodes to come, we'll explore practical tools and strategies to help you develop your own balanced approach, tailored to your unique strengths and challenges. Balanced leadership isn't just a theoretical concept, it has real-world benefits. Teams led by balanced managers are more engaged, resilient, and productive. Organizations with balanced leaders are better able to adapt to change and achieve their goals. By striving for balance, you're investing in the long-term success of your team and your organization. How can you tell if your leadership is out of balance? Common signs include high turnover, low morale, and frequent conflict. If you notice these issues in your team, it may be time to reflect on your approach and consider where you might need to make adjustments. Balanced leaders create environments where people feel valued and challenged. This leads to higher engagement, better performance, and greater innovation. By modeling balance, you encourage your team to develop their own adaptive skills, creating a culture of continuous improvement. Adaptability is a hallmark of balanced leadership. When you're able to shift your approach in response to changing circumstances, you build trust and credibility with your team. This flexibility is especially important in today's fast-paced, unpredictable world. Some leaders worry that being too supportive will undermine their authority. In reality, balanced leaders know how to set boundaries while still being approachable. This combination earns respect and fosters open communication, creating a healthy team dynamic. Balanced leadership also means holding people accountable while providing the support they need to succeed. This creates a culture of high expectations and mutual trust where everyone is motivated to do their best. Innovation thrives in environments where leaders balance structure with freedom. By providing clear direction while encouraging creativity, you empower your team to experiment and take risks, leading to breakthrough ideas and solutions. Balanced leaders pay attention to the well-being of their teams. They recognize the signs of stress and burnout and take proactive steps to create a supportive environment. This not only improves performance but also helps retain top talent. Effective decision-making requires balance. Leaders must weigh short-term needs against long-term goals, consider multiple perspectives, and make choices that serve the greater good. This thoughtful approach leads to better outcomes and stronger teams. Communication is at the heart of balanced leadership. Leaders must be clear and direct when needed, but also listen actively and encourage input from others. This two-way communication builds trust and ensures everyone is aligned around shared goals. Giving and receiving feedback is another area where balance is crucial. Leaders must be honest and constructive, offering praise as well as guidance for improvement. This balanced approach helps team members grow and strengthens relationships. Conflict is inevitable in any team, but balanced leaders handle it with skill. They address issues directly while maintaining respect for all parties involved. This approach resolves problems quickly and prevents resentment from building up. Diverse teams benefit from balanced leadership. By valuing different perspectives and creating an inclusive environment, leaders unlock the full potential of their teams. This leads to better decision-making and more innovative solutions. Change is a constant in today's world. Balanced leaders help their teams navigate change by providing stability and reassurance while also encouraging adaptability. This balance helps teams stay focused and resilient during times of uncertainty. Balanced leaders are lifelong learners. They seek out new ideas, reflect on their experiences, and are open to feedback. This commitment to learning helps them stay adaptable and effective in a rapidly changing world. Self-care is an often overlooked aspect of balanced leadership. Leaders who neglect their own well-being are less effective and more prone to burnout. By taking care of yourself, you set a positive example for your team and ensure you have the energy to lead effectively. Balanced leaders combine a clear vision for the future with practical steps for getting there. They inspire their teams with a sense of purpose while also providing the structure and support needed to achieve results. Trust is the foundation of balanced leadership. Leaders who are consistent, fair, and transparent build strong relationships with their teams. This trust enables open communication, collaboration, and high performance. Empowering others is a key aspect of balanced leadership. By delegating responsibility and trusting your team, you help people grow and develop their own leadership skills. This creates a ripple effect, strengthening the entire organization. Conclusion: balanced leadership is an ongoing practice, an art that requires awareness, adaptability, and a commitment to growth. By embracing both the external and internal aspects of balance, you can become a more effective, resilient, and inspiring leader. As we move forward in this series, we'll continue to explore the tools and mindsets that will help you master the art of balanced leadership. Leadership isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. Instead, it exists on a spectrum, ranging from highly structured, rule-based methods to more flexible, people-centered approaches. This continuum allows leaders to choose the style that best fits their team's needs and the challenges they face. By understanding where different styles fall on the spectrum, leaders can better navigate complex situations and foster both productivity and innovation. Let's look closer at the two ends of this spectrum: transactional and transformational leadership. Transactional leadership is often seen as the traditional approach. It's characterized by a clear structure, where leaders set specific goals, establish rules, and use rewards or punishments to ensure compliance. This style is sometimes referred to as command and control, and it's often associated with masculine-coded behaviors. While it can be effective in certain situations, especially where tasks are routine or high stakes, it can also limit creativity and reduce intrinsic motivation among team members. Despite its reputation as old-fashioned, transactional leadership has its strengths. It provides clarity, ensures accountability, and can be highly effective in environments where safety, precision, or compliance are critical. For example, in manufacturing or emergency services, transactional approach can help teams meet strict deadlines and maintain high standards. However, it's important to recognize its limitations, especially when innovation or adaptability are required. While transactional leadership can drive results in certain contexts, it often falls short in today's rapidly changing world. This style can stifle creativity, discourage risk-taking, and lead to disengagement among team members. When leaders rely too heavily on rules and rewards, they may miss opportunities to inspire or develop their people. As organizations seek to innovate and adapt, the need for a more flexible, motivating approach becomes clear. Transformational leadership represents a shift from control to inspiration. This style is often described as feminine-coded, focusing on motivating and empowering team members rather than simply directing them. Transformational leaders build trust, encourage creativity, and align individual goals with the broader mission of the organization. They are not just managers, they are visionaries who inspire others to reach their full potential. Transformational leadership is defined by four key elements, often called the 4 I's: idealized influence, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. Each of these plays a vital role in creating an environment where people feel valued, challenged, and inspired. Let's break down what each of these elements means and how they contribute to effective leadership. Idealized influence is all about leading by example. Transformational leaders act with integrity and earn the respect of their teams by modeling the behaviors and values they expect from others. This creates a strong foundation of trust and credibility, making it easier for leaders to inspire and motivate their teams. When people see their leader walking the talk, they are more likely to follow with commitment and enthusiasm. Inspirational motivation is about articulating a compelling vision that excites and unites the team. Transformational leaders communicate high expectations and show genuine enthusiasm for the organization's mission. By painting a vivid picture of the future, they help team members see the bigger purpose behind their work, fostering a sense of meaning and shared commitment. Intellectual stimulation encourages team members to think creatively and challenge the status quo. Transformational leaders invite new ideas, question assumptions, and support calculated risk-taking. This approach not only sparks innovation but also helps individuals grow by stretching their thinking and problem-solving abilities. It's about creating a safe space for experimentation and learning. Individualized consideration means treating each team member as a unique individual with their own strengths, needs, and aspirations. Transformational leaders act as mentors and coaches, providing personalized support and development opportunities. By recognizing and nurturing individual potential, they help people grow and contribute more fully to the team's success. Research consistently shows that transformational leadership leads to higher levels of satisfaction, productivity, and even financial performance. Teams led by transformational leaders are more engaged, innovative, and committed to organizational goals. This style creates a positive climate where people feel valued and motivated to do their best work, driving long-term success for both individuals and organizations. Pairing transactional and transformational leadership highlights the strengths and weaknesses of each. Transactional leaders focus on structure, compliance, and immediate results, while transformational leaders emphasize vision, motivation, and long-term growth. The most effective leaders understand when to use each style, adapting their approach to fit the situation and the needs of their team. No single leadership style is perfect for every situation. The key is balance, knowing when to provide structure and when to inspire, when to set clear expectations and when to encourage autonomy. Balanced leaders are flexible, adapting their style to the needs of their team and the demands of the moment. This ability to navigate the leadership spectrum is what sets great leaders apart. Situational leadership model provides a practical framework for adapting leadership style based on the maturity and readiness of team members. Developed by Hersey and Blanchard, this model outlines 4 main behaviors: directing, coaching, supporting, and delegating. Each behavior is suited to different levels of team development and autonomy, helping leaders respond effectively to changing circumstances. When team members are new or lack experience, the directing style is most effective. Leaders provide clear instructions, closely supervise tasks, and set specific goals. This approach ensures that everyone understands what's expected and helps build confidence as team members develop their skills. Over time, as competence grows, leaders can shift to a more supportive style. As team members gain some experience but still need guidance, the coaching style becomes important. Leaders combine direction with encouragement, using both rational explanations and emotional support to motivate their teams. This dual approach helps team members understand the reasons behind decisions and feel valued for their contributions. When teams reach a higher level of maturity, leaders can shift to a supporting style. Here, the focus is on participation and consultation, involving team members in decision-making and problem-solving. This approach fosters a sense of ownership and collaboration, empowering individuals to take initiative and contribute their ideas. For highly mature and capable teams, the delegating style is most effective. Leaders step back, allowing team members to take full responsibility for their work. This approach demonstrates trust and confidence in the team's abilities, encouraging self-management and continuous improvement. Delegating frees leaders to focus on strategic issues while supporting team growth. Core lesson of situational leadership is that there's no universal solution. Effective leaders assess the needs of their team and the demands of the situation, then choose the style that will be most effective. This flexibility is essential for navigating today's complex and dynamic work environments, where change is constant and adaptability is key. Great leaders are not rigid in their approach. Instead, they adapt their style to fit the unique needs of each team and situation. This might mean being more directive during a crisis or more supportive when fostering innovation. The ability to shift seamlessly along the leadership spectrum is what enables leaders to achieve outstanding results. Let's consider a real-world example of transactional leadership. In a manufacturing plant, the manager sets clear production targets and uses bonuses to reward teams that meet their quotas. Strict rules ensure safety and quality. While this approach keeps operations running smoothly, it may not encourage workers to suggest improvements or innovate beyond their assigned tasks. Now imagine a tech startup led by a transformational leader. The CEO shares a bold vision for the company's future and encourages employees to experiment with new ideas. Team members are mentored and supported, and their contributions are recognized. This environment fosters creativity, engagement, and a strong sense of purpose, driving the company's growth and innovation. Most successful leaders blend elements of both transactional and transformational styles. They set clear expectations and hold people accountable, but also inspire, support, and develop their teams. This balanced approach creates a culture of high performance and continuous improvement, where people feel both challenged and valued. Leadership style has a profound impact on organizational culture. Transactional leaders may create a culture of discipline and efficiency, while transformational leaders foster innovation and collaboration. The best cultures are those that balance structure with flexibility, enabling organizations to adapt and thrive in a changing world. Transactional leadership often relies on extrinsic motivation, rewards, and punishments to drive performance. In contrast, transformational leadership taps into intrinsic motivation, inspiring people to do their best because they believe in the mission and feel personally invested. Understanding these different sources of motivation helps leaders create more effective and sustainable teams. Trust is the foundation of effective leadership, regardless of style. Transactional leaders build trust through consistency and fairness, while transformational leaders do so by showing empathy and integrity. Leaders who earn the trust of their teams are better able to motivate, influence, and achieve results. Effective communication is essential for both transactional and transformational leaders. Transactional leaders communicate expectations and feedback clearly, while transformational leaders use communication to inspire and connect. Mastering both forms of communication enables leaders to guide their teams through challenges and change. Leadership is a skill that can be developed through practice and reflection. By seeking feedback, learning from experience, and studying different styles, aspiring leaders can expand their toolkit and become more effective. Continuous learning and self-awareness are key to growing as a leader. Mentoring and coaching are powerful tools for developing both leaders and team members. Transformational leaders excel at providing guidance and support, helping others unlock their potential. By investing in people's growth, leaders build stronger, more capable teams that can tackle any challenge. Providing regular feedback is essential for improving performance. Transactional leaders use feedback to correct mistakes and reinforce standards, while transformational leaders use it to encourage growth and celebrate achievements. The best leaders combine both approaches, offering constructive criticism and positive reinforcement. Empowerment is a hallmark of transformational leadership. By giving team members autonomy and responsibility, leaders foster a sense of ownership and pride. Empowered teams are more motivated, resilient, and capable of achieving ambitious goals. Change is a constant in today's world, and effective leaders must guide their teams through uncertainty. Transactional leaders provide stability and order, while transformational leaders inspire confidence and adaptability. By combining both approaches, leaders can help their teams embrace change and thrive. Clear vision and strategy are essential for organizational success. Transformational leaders excel at crafting and communicating a compelling vision, while transactional leaders ensure that strategies are executed effectively. Together, these skills drive progress and keep teams aligned with organizational goals. Emotional intelligence is a critical component of effective leadership. Leaders with high emotional intelligence are self-aware, empathetic, and skilled at managing relationships. This enables them to connect with team members, resolve conflicts, and create a positive work environment. Innovation thrives under transformational leadership. By encouraging experimentation and supporting new ideas, leaders create a culture where creativity is valued. This not only drives organizational growth but also keeps teams engaged and excited about their work. Conflict is inevitable in any team, but effective leaders know how to manage it constructively. Transactional leaders address conflict by enforcing rules and standards, while transformational leaders seek to understand underlying issues and facilitate resolution. Combining both approaches leads to healthier, more productive teams. Inclusive leadership is essential for building diverse, high-performing teams. Transformational leaders champion diversity and create environments where everyone feels valued and heard. This not only enhances creativity and innovation but also strengthens organizational resilience. Ethical leadership is non-negotiable in today's world. Both transactional and transformational leaders must act with integrity, setting the standard for behavior within their organizations. Leaders who prioritize ethics build trust, protect reputations, and ensure long-term success. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward. Leaders demonstrate resilience by staying positive, learning from failure, and modeling perseverance for their teams. This quality is essential for navigating challenges and achieving long-term goals. Remote work presents unique leadership challenges. Transactional leaders may focus on clear expectations and measurable outcomes, while transformational leaders prioritize communication, trust, and engagement. Adapting leadership style to the remote context is key to maintaining productivity and morale. During a crisis, effective leadership is more important than ever. Transactional leaders provide order and stability, while transformational leaders offer hope and direction. The ability to combine these approaches helps teams navigate uncertainty and emerge stronger. Continuous improvement is a hallmark of high-performing organizations. Leaders who embrace both transactional and transformational styles set high standards, encourage feedback, and foster a culture of learning. This commitment to growth ensures ongoing success and adaptability. Summary: effective leadership requires navigating the full spectrum of styles, from transactional to transformational. By understanding the strengths and limitations of each approach, and adapting to the needs of their teams, leaders can inspire, motivate, and achieve lasting results. The journey to great leadership is ongoing, and the most successful leaders are those who continue to learn, grow, and balance structure with inspiration. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the leadership spectrum. Whether you're leading a small team or a large organization, remember that the best leaders are those who adapt, inspire, and support their people. By mastering both transactional and transformational styles, you can build teams that are not only productive but also engaged, innovative, and ready for the future. Organizational creativity is the process of generating valuable new products, services, ideas, or processes within a complex social system. It's not just about individual inspiration, it's about how groups work together to solve problems and seize opportunities. In today's fast-paced markets, organizations that foster creativity are better equipped to adapt, compete, and lead. By understanding the foundations of organizational creativity, leaders can set the stage for ongoing innovation and sustainable growth. Unlock creativity within organizations. We focus on 4 key variables: people, work environment, processes, and leadership. Each of these elements plays a unique role in shaping how creative ideas are generated, developed, and implemented. Throughout this episode, we'll explore each variable in detail, providing practical examples and strategies that leaders can use to foster a culture of innovation. Let's start by looking at the most fundamental component: the people. The core of every creative organization are its people. According to Teresa Amabal's confidential model of individual creativity, three factors are essential: domain-relevant skills, creativity-relevant processes, and intrinsic motivation. People with deep expertise, strong creative thinking abilities, and a genuine passion for their work are more likely to generate breakthrough ideas. Organizations must invest in developing these qualities to build a truly innovative workforce. Main relevant skills refer to the knowledge, expertise, and technical abilities that individuals bring to their roles. In today's dynamic environment, skills like curiosity, persistence, and rapid learning are in high demand. Employees who continuously update their knowledge and adapt to new challenges are better equipped to contribute to creative solutions. Organizations should encourage ongoing learning and provide opportunities for skill development. Creativity-relevant processes include creative thinking, complex problem-solving, and the ability to approach challenges from multiple perspectives. These processes help individuals break free from conventional patterns and discover novel solutions. Training in creative problem-solving techniques and encouraging experimentation can significantly enhance an organization's creative output. Intrinsic motivation is the internal drive to pursue work for its own sake, rather than for external rewards. Research shows that excessive external incentives can actually undermine creativity. Leaders should focus on creating environments where employees feel a sense of purpose, autonomy, and mastery. When people are intrinsically motivated, they are more likely to take risks, persist through challenges, and produce innovative results. Curiosity is a powerful driver of creativity. Curious individuals are always seeking new knowledge, asking questions, and exploring possibilities. Organizations that encourage curiosity create a culture where experimentation and learning are valued. This not only leads to more creative ideas but also helps teams adapt quickly to change and uncertainty. Persistence and adaptability are crucial for creative success. Creative work often involves setbacks and failures, but those who persist and adapt are more likely to find innovative solutions. Organizations should celebrate resilience and provide support for employees as they navigate challenges. This creates a safe space for experimentation and growth. Ability to learn quickly and reorient in response to new information is a hallmark of creative individuals. In fast-changing industries, this skill is invaluable. Organizations can foster this by encouraging continuous learning, providing access to new resources, and supporting employees as they explore unfamiliar territory. Work environment plays a significant role in shaping creativity. Factors such as national culture, external market pressures, and organizational culture all influence how creative ideas are generated and implemented. A supportive environment can make the difference between stagnation and breakthrough innovation. Organizational culture refers to the shared values, beliefs, and behaviors that shape how work gets done. A culture that supports creativity is characterized by openness, flexibility, and a willingness to experiment. Leaders must actively shape and reinforce these cultural attributes to create an environment where innovation can thrive. Creativity supporting culture is built on 5 key factors: a strategy focused on research and development, a flexible organizational structure, supportive mechanisms like resources and motivation programs, behaviors that invite innovation, and open communication. Companies like Google exemplify these traits, fostering environments where employees are encouraged to experiment and share ideas freely. Organizations that prioritize research and development are more likely to generate breakthrough innovations. By allocating resources to R&D, companies signal their commitment to creativity and long-term growth. This strategic focus encourages employees to pursue bold ideas and take calculated risks. A flexible organizational structure allows teams to adapt quickly to new challenges and opportunities. Hierarchies are minimized, and cross-functional collaboration is encouraged. This flexibility enables organizations to respond rapidly to changes in the market and to experiment with new approaches. Supportive mechanisms include providing resources, motivation programs, and tools that empower employees to innovate. Whether it's access to technology, training, or time for creative projects, these mechanisms remove barriers and enable teams to focus on generating new ideas. Organizations that value innovative behavior encourage employees to take initiative, share ideas, and experiment without fear of failure. Leaders play a key role in modeling these behaviors and creating a safe space for creative risk-taking. Open communication is essential for creativity to flourish. When employees feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and feedback, new ideas can emerge and be refined collaboratively. Organizations should foster transparent communication channels and actively seek input from all levels. Organizational climate refers to the lived experiences of members within the organization. A positive climate is characterized by trust, support, and psychological safety. When employees feel valued and respected, they are more likely to contribute creative ideas and collaborate effectively. The physical workspace can significantly influence creativity. Open, flexible spaces that encourage collaboration and movement help spark new ideas. Natural light, comfortable seating, and creative decor can all contribute to a more inspiring and productive environment. External market factors such as competition and customer demands also shape the work environment. Organizations that stay attuned to market trends and adapt quickly are better positioned to innovate. Leaders should encourage teams to monitor the external environment and respond proactively. National culture shapes attitudes toward creativity and risk-taking. Some cultures encourage experimentation and open dialogue, while others may be more risk-averse. Understanding these cultural dynamics helps organizations tailor their approaches to fostering creativity across global teams. Creative processes provide the frameworks that guide innovation. From structured problem-solving methods to open brainstorming sessions, these processes help teams move from idea generation to implementation. Let's explore some of the most effective creative processes used by leading organizations. Creative problem solving, or CPS, is a structured approach to tackling complex challenges. It involves clarifying the problem, generating ideas, developing solutions, and implementing them. CPS encourages divergent thinking and helps teams break down barriers to innovation. Edward de Bono's lateral thinking technique encourages individuals to approach problems from new angles. By challenging assumptions and exploring alternative perspectives, teams can uncover creative solutions that might otherwise be overlooked. The Six Thinking Hats method, also developed by de Bono, assigns different roles or hats to team members, each representing a unique perspective. This structured approach ensures that all aspects of a problem are considered, leading to more balanced and creative decisions. Appreciative inquiry is a process that focuses on identifying and building upon an organization's strengths. By asking positive questions and envisioning a desired future, teams can generate creative solutions rooted in what already works well. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that emphasizes empathy, experimentation, and iteration. By deeply understanding user needs and rapidly prototyping solutions, organizations can create products and services that truly resonate with customers. Synectics is a creative problem-solving process that uses analogies and metaphors to stimulate new thinking. By making the familiar strange and the strange familiar, teams can break free from conventional patterns and discover innovative solutions. TRIZ is a systematic approach to innovation that originated in engineering. It provides a set of principles and tools for solving complex problems by identifying and overcoming contradictions. TRIZ helps organizations move beyond incremental improvements to achieve breakthrough innovations. Organizations must provide clear frameworks to guide the creative process. Whether it's CPS, design thinking, or another method, having a structured approach helps teams stay focused and move ideas from concept to reality. Leaders should ensure that employees have access to the right tools and training. Leadership is the glue that holds all the elements of organizational creativity together. Leaders set the tone, model creative behaviors, and remove obstacles to innovation. Their actions and attitudes have a profound impact on whether creativity flourishes or falters within the organization. Creative environments are often marked by uncertainty and ambiguity. Leaders who are comfortable navigating the unknown inspire confidence in their teams. By embracing ambiguity, leaders encourage experimentation and help teams move forward even when the path isn't clear. Innovation requires taking risks. Leaders must be willing to support calculated risk-taking and learn from failure. By creating a culture where mistakes are seen as opportunities for growth, leaders empower teams to push boundaries and pursue bold ideas. Trust and psychological safety are foundational for creativity. Leaders must foster an environment where employees feel safe to share ideas, challenge assumptions, and collaborate openly. When trust is high, teams are more likely to innovate and take creative risks. Diverse teams bring a wide range of perspectives and experiences to the table, fueling creativity. Leaders should actively seek out and value diversity in all its forms, from background and expertise to thinking styles. This diversity leads to richer ideas and more innovative solutions. Leaders must model the creative behaviors they wish to see in their teams. This includes curiosity, openness to feedback, and a willingness to experiment. By setting an example, leaders inspire others to embrace creativity and pursue innovative solutions. Leaders play a critical role in identifying and removing obstacles that hinder creativity. Whether it's bureaucratic red tape, lack of resources, or fear of failure, addressing these barriers enables teams to focus on generating and implementing new ideas. A clear vision and sense of direction are essential for guiding creative efforts. Leaders must articulate a compelling purpose and align teams around shared goals. This focus helps channel creative energy toward meaningful outcomes. Leaders should promote a culture of continuous learning and development. By encouraging employees to acquire new skills, experiment with new approaches, and reflect on their experiences, organizations can sustain creativity over the long term. Recognizing and celebrating creative achievements reinforces the value of innovation. Leaders should highlight successes, share stories, and reward teams for their contributions. This positive reinforcement motivates employees to continue pursuing creative solutions. Failure is an inevitable part of the creative process. Leaders should encourage teams to view setbacks as learning opportunities and to extract valuable lessons from every experience. This mindset fosters resilience and drives continuous improvement. Sustaining innovation requires ongoing effort and commitment from leaders and teams alike. By continuously reinforcing the principles of creativity, providing resources, and adapting to changing circumstances, organizations can maintain their innovative edge. True organizational creativity emerges when people, environment, processes, and leadership are aligned. Each element reinforces the others, creating a virtuous cycle of innovation. Leaders must take a holistic approach, ensuring that all aspects of the organization support and sustain creativity. Summary: cultivating organizational creativity is a multifaceted endeavor that requires attention to people, environment, processes, and leadership. By fostering a culture of curiosity, resilience, and collaboration, organizations can unlock their full creative potential and drive lasting innovation. The journey to becoming a truly innovative organization is ongoing, but with the right strategies and mindset, any team can become an engine of innovation. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Unlike IQ, which measures cognitive abilities, EQ is about how we handle ourselves and our relationships. In leadership, this means being aware of your emotional impact, regulating your responses, and connecting with people on a deeper level. As we break down the 5 components of EQ, think about how each one might show up in your daily interactions at work. First pillar of EQ is self-awareness. This means having a clear understanding of your own moods, emotions, and what drives you. Leaders with high self-awareness are honest about their strengths and weaknesses, and they understand how their feelings affect their actions and those around them. For example, a self-aware manager might notice they're feeling frustrated before a meeting and take steps to calm down, ensuring their mood doesn't negatively impact the team. Self-regulation is the ability to control or redirect disruptive emotions and impulses. It's about thinking before acting, staying calm under pressure, and adapting to change. Leaders who excel at self-regulation don't let anger or anxiety dictate their decisions. Instead, they pause, reflect, and choose their responses wisely. This skill helps create a stable and trustworthy environment where teams feel safe to express ideas and take risks. Motivation in the context of EQ goes beyond external rewards like money or status. It's about having a genuine passion for your work and a drive to achieve for the sake of achievement. Motivated leaders are optimistic, set challenging goals, and remain committed to their organization's mission. Their enthusiasm is contagious, inspiring teams to push through obstacles and strive for excellence. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. In leadership, empathy means tuning into the emotional needs of your team, recognizing their challenges, and supporting their growth. Empathetic leaders are skilled at developing talent, anticipating customer needs, and navigating cultural differences. This creates a more inclusive and supportive workplace where everyone feels valued. Social skill is the ability to manage relationships, build networks, and find common ground with others. Leaders with strong social skills are persuasive, effective communicators, and adept at managing change. They build rapport easily, resolve conflicts constructively, and help teams work together toward shared goals. Social skill is the glue that holds teams together and drives organizational success. While IQ and technical skills are important, studies show that emotional intelligence is often the deciding factor in leadership effectiveness. Leaders with high EQ can navigate complex interpersonal dynamics, motivate their teams, and adapt to change more successfully than those who rely solely on cognitive abilities. This doesn't mean IQ isn't valuable, but EQ is what truly sets exceptional leaders apart. Let's recap the 5 core components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill. Each plays a unique role in shaping how leaders interact with their teams and make decisions. By developing these skills, you can become a more effective, respected, and inspiring leader. In the next scenes, we'll dive deeper into practical strategies for building each component. Build self-awareness. Start by regularly reflecting on your emotions and behaviors. Journaling, seeking feedback from trusted colleagues, and practicing mindfulness can help you recognize patterns in your reactions. Over time, you'll gain a clearer sense of your strengths and areas for growth, making it easier to lead authentically and respond thoughtfully to challenges. Self-regulation can be strengthened by learning to pause before reacting, especially in stressful situations. Techniques like deep breathing, counting to 10, or stepping away briefly can help you regain composure. Over time, these habits allow you to respond with intention rather than impulse, building trust and respect among your team. To cultivate motivation, set meaningful goals that align with your values and your organization's mission. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, and maintain a positive outlook even when facing setbacks. Motivated leaders inspire their teams by modeling resilience and a commitment to continuous improvement. Empathy can be practiced by actively listening to others, asking open-ended questions, and showing genuine concern for their well-being. Take time to understand different perspectives, especially when resolving conflicts or making decisions that affect your team. Empathetic leaders build trust and loyalty, creating a more engaged and productive workplace. Enhancing social skills involves practicing clear communication, giving and receiving feedback constructively, and finding ways to connect with others. Leaders who excel in social skills are approachable, collaborative, and skilled at resolving disagreements. These qualities help teams work together more effectively and achieve shared goals. Let's look at some real-life scenarios where emotional intelligence makes a difference. Imagine a team facing a tight deadline. A leader with high EQ recognizes the stress, addresses concerns openly, and motivates the team to stay focused. When conflicts arise, they mediate calmly and help everyone find common ground. These actions not only resolve immediate issues but also strengthen team cohesion over time. Understanding your team's motivation is crucial for effective leadership. The 6 qualitative levels of work motivation table helps leaders assess where their team members stand, from high enthusiasm to resignation. By recognizing these states, you can tailor your approach to boost morale, address concerns, and help everyone reach their full potential. The top of the motivation scale is enthusiasm. Team members in this state are energized, optimistic, and fully engaged in their work. Leaders can nurture enthusiasm by recognizing achievements, providing opportunities for growth, and maintaining open communication. When enthusiasm is high, productivity and creativity soar. Contentment is characterized by satisfaction and steady progress. While not as intense as enthusiasm, it's a positive state where team members feel valued and motivated to contribute. Leaders can maintain contentment by ensuring fair recognition, providing support, and fostering a sense of belonging within the team. Compliance is when team members do what's expected but lack extra drive. They meet their responsibilities but may not go above and beyond. Leaders can help move team members from compliance to higher motivation by setting inspiring goals, offering new challenges, and showing appreciation for initiative. Apathy is a warning sign that motivation is slipping. Team members may seem disengaged, indifferent, or unresponsive. Leaders need to address apathy quickly by having honest conversations, identifying underlying issues, and reigniting a sense of purpose within the team. Resignation is the lowest point on the motivation scale. Team members in this state have lost hope and may be considering leaving. Leaders must act with empathy and urgency, listening to concerns, offering support, and working to rebuild trust and motivation. Sometimes, external help or changes in role may be necessary. Emotions and motivation are closely linked. Positive emotions like enthusiasm and contentment drive engagement, while negative emotions like apathy and resignation can undermine performance. Leaders who understand this connection can better support their teams, creating an environment where everyone can thrive. To lead effectively, it's important to understand the different types of emotional experiences. Not all emotions are the same, some are fleeting while others linger and shape our outlook. By recognizing these differences, leaders can respond more appropriately to their own feelings and those of their team. Affects are immediate, short-term emotional reactions to specific events. They can be intense but usually fade quickly. For example, feeling a surge of excitement after a successful presentation or frustration after a setback. Leaders who recognize affects can manage their responses and help their teams do the same. Emotional episodes are broader experiences that last longer than affects but are still tied to specific events. For instance, feeling proud after completing a major project or anxious during a period of uncertainty. Leaders should be aware of these episodes as they can influence team morale and decision-making over days or weeks. Moods are longer-lasting emotional states that aren't always linked to a specific event. A positive mood can boost creativity and collaboration, while a negative mood can dampen motivation. Leaders who notice shifts in team mood can take proactive steps to maintain a positive and productive atmosphere. Integrated model of effective states developed by Yick, Russell, and Feldman Barrett maps emotions along 2 dimensions: activation, how energized you feel, and pleasantness, how positive or negative the emotion is. This model helps leaders understand the full range of emotional experiences and how they impact behavior and motivation. Activation refers to the level of energy or arousal in an emotional state. High activation emotions include excitement or anxiety, while low activation emotions include calmness or boredom. Leaders can use this understanding to gauge team energy and adjust their approach to maintain engagement and productivity. Pleasantness measures how positive or negative an emotion feels. Emotions like joy and satisfaction are high in pleasantness, while anger and sadness are low. Leaders who recognize the pleasantness of team emotions can foster positivity and address negativity before it affects performance. By mapping team emotions along the axes of activation and pleasantness, leaders gain a clearer picture of group dynamics. This insight allows for targeted interventions, whether it's energizing a low activation team or addressing sources of negativity. Regular check-ins and open communication help keep the emotional climate healthy. Leaders must be careful not to fall into emotional traps such as reacting impulsively or ignoring team emotions. These pitfalls can erode trust and hinder performance. Instead, practice self-awareness and empathy to navigate challenges thoughtfully and maintain a positive team environment. Emotions are contagious. Leaders set the tone for their teams. A positive, calm leader can uplift the group while negativity can quickly spread. Be mindful of your own emotional state and how it influences others. By modeling optimism and resilience, you help your team stay motivated and focused. Giving and receiving feedback is a key part of emotional intelligence. Effective leaders deliver feedback with empathy, focusing on behaviors rather than personal traits. They also welcome feedback from others, using it as an opportunity for growth. This two-way process builds trust and drives continuous improvement. Change is inevitable in any organization. Leaders with high EQ help their teams navigate transitions by acknowledging emotions, communicating clearly, and providing support. By addressing concerns and celebrating small wins, they reduce resistance and foster a culture of adaptability. In today's global workplace, cultural sensitivity is a crucial aspect of emotional intelligence. Leaders must be aware of cultural differences in emotional expression and communication styles. By showing respect and curiosity, they create an inclusive environment where diverse perspectives are valued. Emotional intelligence isn't fixed, it can be developed with practice and intention. Leaders can improve their EQ by seeking feedback, reflecting on experiences, and committing to personal growth. Over time, these efforts lead to stronger relationships, better decision-making, and greater leadership effectiveness. Organizations with emotionally intelligent leaders tend to have higher employee engagement, lower turnover, and better performance. EQ fosters a positive culture where people feel valued and motivated to contribute. By prioritizing emotional intelligence, companies set themselves up for long-term success. Even experienced leaders face challenges in applying emotional intelligence. Common obstacles include stress, time pressure, and personal biases. Recognizing these challenges is the first step toward overcoming them. With practice, leaders can develop strategies to stay emotionally balanced and effective. There are many tools and techniques for building emotional intelligence. These include mindfulness practices, emotional check-ins, and leadership coaching. By integrating these tools into your routine, you can strengthen your EQ and become a more effective leader. Leading remote teams presents unique emotional challenges. Without face-to-face interaction, it's harder to read emotions and build rapport. Leaders must be proactive in communicating, checking in on team well-being, and fostering a sense of connection despite the distance. Self-management is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. Leaders who manage their own emotions effectively set a powerful example for their teams. Strategies include setting boundaries, practicing self-care, and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. These habits support sustained performance and well-being. Reflection is essential for developing emotional intelligence. Taking time to review your actions, emotions, and outcomes helps you learn from experience and make better choices in the future. Leaders who reflect regularly are more adaptable and open to growth. Emotional intelligence enhances decision-making by helping leaders consider both facts and feelings. By weighing emotional impacts alongside data, leaders make more balanced and effective choices. This approach leads to better outcomes for individuals and organizations alike. Sustaining emotional intelligence growth requires ongoing effort. Leaders should seek out learning opportunities, stay curious, and remain open to feedback. By making EQ a lifelong journey, you'll continue to evolve as a leader and inspire those around you. Emotional intelligence is the leader's compass, guiding every interaction, decision, and challenge. By mastering self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill, you can lead with confidence and compassion. Remember, EQ is not just a skill, it's a mindset that shapes the culture and success of your team and organization. Thank you for joining us on this journey to becoming a more emotionally intelligent leader. The heart of every conversation are two core elements: reception and expression. Reception is all about listening, being physically present, attentive, and open to the other person's perspective. Expression, on the other hand, is how we share our thoughts and feelings. Both are equally important. When we listen with empathy and speak with clarity, we create a space where real understanding can flourish. Throughout this episode, we'll break down these elements and show you how to strengthen both sides of your communication. Physical presence is more than just being in the same room. It's about showing you're engaged, making eye contact, nodding, and using open body language. These nonverbal cues signal to the speaker that you value their words. When you're physically present, distractions fade and the conversation becomes more meaningful. This simple act lays the groundwork for deeper trust and understanding, setting the tone for effective communication. Attention is the currency of good communication. When you give someone your undivided attention, you're telling them their words matter. This means putting away devices, avoiding multitasking, and focusing fully on the speaker. Active attention helps you catch subtle cues, understand emotions, and respond thoughtfully. It's a small investment that pays big dividends in trust and connection. Time management isn't just about keeping meetings short. It's about respecting everyone's time and ensuring conversations stay productive. Setting clear agendas, sticking to topics, and knowing when to move on are all part of effective time management and dialogue. When you manage time well, you create space for everyone to contribute without feeling rushed or overlooked. Acceptance is a cornerstone of active listening. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything you hear. Instead, it's about being open and empathetic, acknowledging the other person's feelings and perspective without judgment. This openness encourages honest sharing and helps build a safe environment for dialogue where everyone feels heard and respected. Not all listening is the same. Depending on the situation, we may listen in different ways. In this episode, we'll explore 4 key listening styles: people-oriented, task-fact-oriented, content-context-oriented, and time-oriented. Each style has its strengths and potential pitfalls. By understanding these styles, you'll be better equipped to adapt your approach and communicate more effectively in any scenario. People-oriented listener focuses on building relationships. They're receptive, ask open and reflective questions, and show genuine interest in the speaker's feelings. This style is great for creating trust and rapport, but there's a risk of losing objectivity if emotions take over. People-oriented listeners excel in situations where empathy and connection are key, such as team building or conflict resolution. Task or fact-oriented listeners focus on the factual side of communication. They're expressive, ask clarifying questions, and often summarize what they've heard. This style is effective for problem-solving and decision-making, but it can overlook feelings and sometimes lead to interruptions. Task-oriented listening is especially useful in meetings or when clarity and action are needed. Intent or context-oriented listeners are evaluators. They seek a comprehensive understanding and ask many probing questions. Their goal is to grasp the full picture, which can be invaluable in complex discussions. However, they risk being seen as annoying or undervaluing non-experts. This style shines in analytical settings where depth and detail matter most. Time-oriented listeners prioritize efficiency and promptness. They value concise communication and are quick to move conversations forward. While this can keep meetings on track, it may also create time pressure that stifles open dialogue and leads to rushed decisions. Time-oriented listening is best for situations where deadlines are tight and quick decisions are needed. Great leaders know when to switch listening styles. The ability to adapt, moving from people-oriented empathy to task-oriented clarity, or from deep analysis to time-sensitive decision-making, sets effective communicators apart. This flexibility ensures you meet the needs of every conversation, building trust and achieving results. To develop a people-oriented listening style, practice patience. Give others the time to express themselves fully, even if it means waiting through pauses or silences. This patience signals respect and encourages openness. Over time, you'll find that conversations become richer and more meaningful as people feel safe to share their true thoughts. For task-oriented listening, it's important to formulate clear positions. Before responding, take a moment to organize your thoughts and state your perspective concisely. This clarity helps keep discussions focused and productive, ensuring everyone understands the key points and next steps. Content context-oriented listeners benefit from demanding evidence. Ask for examples, data, or explanations to support statements. This approach deepens understanding and helps separate facts from opinions. It's a valuable skill in analytical discussions, research, or when making important decisions. To master time-oriented listening, study time management techniques. Learn to set clear agendas, allocate time for each topic, and gently steer conversations back on track when they drift. These skills help you balance efficiency with openness, ensuring productive and respectful dialogue. Active listening is more than just hearing words. It's about fully engaging with the speaker, reflecting back what you've heard, and asking thoughtful questions. This approach builds trust and ensures that both parties feel understood. Practice active listening by summarizing key points and checking for understanding throughout the conversation. Open and reflective questions invite deeper conversation. Instead of yes/no questions, ask things like, "How did that make you feel?" or "What led you to that decision?" These questions encourage the speaker to share more, leading to richer and more insightful dialogue. Clarifying and summarizing are key skills for task-oriented listeners. When you're unsure about something, ask for clarification, then summarize what you've heard to confirm understanding. This process reduces misunderstandings and keeps everyone on the same page. Content context-oriented listeners excel at probing for depth. They ask follow-up questions to uncover underlying reasons, motivations, or concerns. This approach is especially useful in complex or ambiguous situations where surface-level answers aren't enough. While time-oriented listening can be efficient, it's important to avoid creating unnecessary time pressure. Rushing conversations can stifle openness and lead to poor decisions. Instead, balance promptness with patience, allowing space for thoughtful responses. Nonverbal signals like body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can reveal more than words alone. Pay close attention to these cues during conversations. They often provide insight into how someone is really feeling, helping you respond with greater empathy and understanding. In any conversation, inconsistencies between words and actions can signal deeper issues. By listening carefully and observing nonverbal cues, you can spot these inconsistencies and gently address them. This skill is especially important in interviews or conflict situations where honesty and clarity are crucial. Everyone brings their own personality orientation to a conversation. Some are more expressive, others more reserved. By tuning into these differences, you can adapt your communication style to connect more effectively. This awareness is especially valuable in interviews and team settings. First impressions are powerful, but they can also be misleading. In interviews and important conversations, it's crucial to look beyond initial judgments. Take time to gather more information and observe patterns before forming conclusions. This approach leads to fairer and more accurate assessments. Effective communication is a balance between expressing your own ideas and receiving others' input. In interviews, this means asking targeted questions while also listening carefully to responses. Striking this balance ensures a more complete and accurate understanding of the person you're speaking with. When conducting interviews, prepare targeted questions that explore education, motivation, and personality. These questions help you gather relevant information and assess fit. Remember to listen actively to the answers, noting both what is said and how it's said. Nonverbal cues are especially important in interviews. Watch for body language, eye contact, and tone of voice. These signals can reveal confidence, honesty, and enthusiasm, or the lack thereof. Use this information to supplement your assessment and make more informed decisions. It's easy to make snap judgments during interviews, but these can lead to missed opportunities or unfair assessments. Instead, take a step back, gather more data, and reflect on the full picture before making decisions. This approach leads to better outcomes for both you and the candidate. Feedback is a critical skill for leaders and communicators. Effective feedback is specific, timely, and focused on behavior rather than personality. It should encourage growth and improvement, not defensiveness. In this section, we'll explore how to give feedback that truly helps others develop. Constructive feedback starts with clear observations. Describe what you've seen or heard, explain its impact, and suggest ways to improve. Avoid generalizations or personal attacks. When feedback is delivered with empathy and respect, it becomes a powerful tool for learning and growth. Timing is everything when it comes to feedback. Give feedback as soon as possible after the event while details are still fresh. This immediacy helps the recipient connect your comments to their actions and make meaningful changes. When giving feedback, focus on specific behaviors rather than personality traits. For example, instead of saying, "You're careless," try, "I noticed there were errors in the report." This approach keeps the conversation constructive and solution-focused. Feedback should always encourage growth, highlight strengths as well as areas for improvement. Offer support and resources to help the recipient develop. When people feel supported, they're more likely to embrace feedback and strive for excellence. Receiving feedback is just as important as giving it. Listen openly, ask clarifying questions, and thank the person for their input. Even if the feedback is difficult to hear, approach it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Many people feel anxious about giving or receiving feedback. To overcome this, focus on the purpose, improvement, and growth. Prepare your thoughts, stay calm, and remember that feedback is a gift that helps everyone get better. A strong feedback culture encourages open communication and continuous improvement. Leaders set the tone by modeling constructive feedback and inviting input from others. Over time, this culture leads to higher performance, stronger relationships, and greater innovation. In team settings, feedback should be regular and inclusive. Encourage team members to share observations and suggestions with each other. This peer-to-peer feedback strengthens collaboration and helps everyone stay aligned toward common goals. Difficult conversations are inevitable, but they can be managed with skill. Prepare in advance, stay calm, and focus on the issue rather than the person. Use active listening to understand the other perspective and work together to find solutions. Empathy is the glue that holds effective communication together. By putting yourself in the other person's shoes, you can respond with understanding and compassion. Empathy builds trust, diffuses tension, and fosters a positive environment for dialogue. Communication is a skill that can always be improved. Regularly reflect on your conversations, seek feedback from others, and practice new techniques. Over time, you'll become a more effective leader, colleague, and friend. Let's put theory into practice. Pair up with a colleague or friend and take turns sharing a story. The listener should focus on being fully present, using open questions and summarizing what they've heard. Afterward, discuss how it felt to be truly listened to and how it changed the conversation. For this exercise, practice giving and receiving feedback with a partner. Focus on being specific, timely, and constructive. Afterward, reflect on what made the feedback effective and how it could be improved. These exercises will help you build confidence and skill in real-world situations. Mastering the art of dialogue means balancing reception and expression, adapting your listening style, and giving effective feedback. These skills are the foundation of strong leadership and meaningful relationships. By practicing what you've learned, you'll become a more confident and impactful communicator. As you continue your journey, remember that communication is a lifelong skill. Stay curious, keep practicing, and embrace every conversation as an opportunity to learn. With time and dedication, you'll master the art of dialogue and inspire those around you. Delegation is more than just assigning tasks. It's about entrusting both responsibility and authority to your team members. When done right, delegation becomes a powerful tool for developing employees, managing your own workload, and building trust within your team. Rather than simply offloading work, true delegation involves clear communication, mutual understanding, and ongoing support. This approach not only lights your load, but also empowers others to grow and take ownership. Effective delegation brings a host of benefits. For leaders, it means more time to focus on strategic priorities and less stress from micromanaging every detail. For team members, it's an opportunity to learn, develop new skills, and feel valued. Delegation also signals trust, which increases loyalty and motivation. When everyone understands their role and feels empowered, the entire organization becomes more agile and resilient. First principle of effective delegation is clarity. Clearly define the task at hand and the desired results. Ambiguity leads to confusion and mistakes, so take the time to explain what needs to be done, why it matters, and what success looks like. This sets the foundation for accountability and ensures everyone is on the same page from the start. Delegation isn't just about handing over tasks, it's about granting the necessary authority to complete them. Make sure your team members know what decisions they can make and where they need your input. This balance of authority and responsibility prevents bottlenecks and empowers your team to act confidently within their roles. It's crucial to match the level of responsibility with the authority you delegate. If someone is responsible for a task but lacks the power to make decisions, frustration and inefficiency follow. Conversely, too much authority without accountability can lead to mistakes. Striking the right balance ensures tasks are completed effectively and team members feel supported. Regular feedback checkpoints are essential in the delegation process. Set up times to review progress, address challenges, and provide guidance. This keeps everyone aligned and allows for course corrections before issues escalate. Feedback isn't about micromanaging, it's about supporting growth and ensuring success. Reverse delegation happens when a team member tries to hand a task back to the leader. This undermines the purpose of delegation and can lead to overload. Encourage your team to solve problems independently, offering support only when truly necessary. This builds confidence and problem-solving skills across your team. Don't just delegate to the same people every time. Spread opportunities across your team to develop a broader range of skills and prevent burnout. This approach also uncovers hidden talents and ensures your team is more versatile and resilient in the face of change. Let's look at a real-world example. Imagine a project manager who delegates parts of a major project to different team members. By clarifying expectations, granting authority, and checking in regularly, the manager not only ensures the project's success but also helps each team member grow. This approach transforms delegation from a chore into a strategic advantage. Even experienced leaders can fall into delegation traps. Common mistakes include unclear instructions, micromanaging after delegating, or failing to follow up. These errors can erode trust and reduce effectiveness. Being aware of these pitfalls helps you avoid them and create a more empowered team environment. Now that we've covered the essentials of delegation, let's shift our focus to another critical leadership skill: managing conflict. While many see conflict as something to avoid, it can actually be a powerful driver of growth and innovation when handled constructively. Let's explore how to turn disagreements into opportunities. Conflict is often viewed negatively, but in reality, it's the lifeblood of a dynamic organization. When managed well, conflict clarifies issues, surfaces diverse viewpoints, and stimulates change. Rather than fearing conflict, leaders should embrace it as a chance to strengthen their teams and improve processes. When conflict is ignored or mishandled, it can quickly become destructive. Unresolved issues lead to polarization, distrust, and reduced cooperation. Over time, this erodes morale and productivity. Recognizing the signs of unhealthy conflict early allows leaders to intervene and restore a positive environment. Not all conflicts are the same. Interpersonal conflicts often arise from miscommunication, role ambiguity, or external pressures and can be especially damaging if left unchecked. On the other hand, task-related or process conflicts, when managed constructively, can actually enrich team performance by encouraging critical thinking and innovation. Interpersonal conflicts are usually rooted in misunderstandings, unclear roles, or external stressors. These conflicts can quickly become dysfunctional, leading to resentment and decreased collaboration. Leaders must address these issues promptly, fostering open dialogue and clarifying expectations to restore harmony. Task or process-related conflicts, when managed well, can be a source of creativity and improvement. These disagreements focus on how work should be done or which approach is best. By encouraging respectful debate and considering diverse perspectives, leaders can harness these conflicts to drive better outcomes. Navigate conflict effectively, it helps to understand different conflict handling styles. Kenneth Thomas's model uses animal metaphors to illustrate 5 approaches: turtle avoiding, shark competing, teddy bear accommodating, fox compromising, and owl collaborating. Each style has its strengths and is suited to different situations. The turtle represents the avoiding style. People using this approach withdraw from conflict, hoping it will resolve itself. Avoiding can be useful when the issue is trivial or when emotions are running high and a pause is needed. However, overuse can lead to unresolved problems and lingering tension. The shark style is all about competing. This approach involves assertively pursuing one's own goals, often at the expense of others. It's effective when quick, decisive action is needed, such as in emergencies. However, relying too much on this style can damage relationships and breed resentment. The teddy bear style is accommodating. People who use this approach prioritize relationships over their own goals, often yielding to others to maintain harmony. This can be helpful when the issue matters more to the other party, but overuse may lead to feeling undervalued or overlooked. The fox represents the compromising style. This approach seeks a middle ground, with both parties giving up something to reach an agreement. Compromising is useful when time is limited or when both sides have equally important goals. However, it may result in solutions that are only partially satisfying. The owl style is all about collaboration. This approach aims for a win-win outcome by integrating everyone's perspectives and needs. Collaboration takes time and effort but often leads to the most creative and lasting solutions. It's ideal when the issue is important to all parties and relationships matter. Each conflict style has its place. Use competing when quick, decisive action is needed. Collaborating is best for complex issues where everyone's input is valuable. Compromising works when time is short and both sides must give a little. Accommodating helps maintain harmony, while avoiding is useful for trivial matters or cooling off. It's also important to know when not to use each style. Avoid competing when relationships matter most. Don't collaborate if time is too limited. Compromising isn't ideal for critical issues requiring full commitment. Accommodating can backfire if you're always giving in, and avoiding is risky for major problems. Assertiveness is the ideal communication style in conflict situations. It means expressing your needs and opinions clearly, calmly, and respectfully while also listening to others. Assertive leaders don't shy away from tough conversations, but they handle them with empathy and confidence. To communicate assertively, start by stating the facts without blame. Express your feelings and needs clearly, then invite the other person to share their perspective. Stay calm and persistent, focusing on solutions rather than assigning fault. This approach builds mutual respect and paves the way for constructive outcomes. In conflict, it's easy to fall into negative patterns like interrupting, blaming, or making assumptions. These communication fouls escalate tension and block resolution. Instead, focus on active listening, asking clarifying questions, and keeping the conversation solution-oriented. Emotions run high during conflict, but letting them take over can derail the conversation. Recognize your feelings and those of others, but don't let anger or frustration dictate your actions. Emotional awareness helps you stay calm and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. When handled constructively, conflict can actually strengthen trust within a team. Open, honest conversations about disagreements show that everyone's voice matters. Over time, this builds psychological safety and encourages more innovation and collaboration. Feedback is just as important in conflict resolution as it is in delegation. After a disagreement, take time to reflect on what went well and what could be improved. Constructive feedback helps everyone learn and grow, making future conflicts easier to navigate. Consider a team facing a tough deadline. Tensions rise as members disagree on priorities. By using assertive communication and focusing on shared goals, the team navigates the conflict, finds a creative solution, and meets the deadline. This example shows how conflict, when managed well, leads to better outcomes. Empowerment isn't just a buzzword, it's a daily practice. By delegating effectively, leaders give their teams the autonomy to make decisions and solve problems. This not only boosts morale but also creates a culture of ownership and accountability. Similarly, empowering your team to handle conflict constructively builds resilience and adaptability. When people feel safe to express differing views and work through disagreements, the organization becomes stronger and more innovative. Moving from micromanagement to true leadership requires a mindset shift. It's about trusting your team, letting go of control, and focusing on development over perfection. This shift unlocks the full potential of your people and your organization. To delegate effectively, start small and build trust. Choose tasks that match your team's strengths, provide clear instructions, and be available for support. Celebrate successes and use setbacks as learning opportunities. Over time, you'll find it easier to let go and your team will thrive. When conflict arises, pause and assess the situation. Choose the most appropriate conflict style, communicate assertively, and focus on solutions. Remember, the goal is not to win but to find the best outcome for everyone involved. Create an environment where open dialogue is encouraged. Regular team check-ins, anonymous feedback tools, and clear communication channels all help surface issues early and prevent conflicts from festering. Conflict management is a skill that can be developed. Invest in training, role-playing, and reflection to build your team's confidence in handling disagreements. The more comfortable people are with conflict, the more likely they are to use it constructively. Delegation and conflict management are deeply connected. When you delegate, you empower others to make decisions, which can sometimes lead to disagreements. By equipping your team with conflict skills, you ensure that these disagreements become opportunities for growth, not sources of division. How do you know if you're succeeding? Look for signs like increased initiative, improved morale, and more creative solutions. Teams that delegate well and handle conflict constructively are more engaged and deliver better results. Change isn't always easy. Some team members may resist delegation or shy away from conflict. Address concerns openly, provide support, and model the behaviors you want to see. Over time, resistance will fade as people experience the benefits firsthand. Empowerment is an ongoing journey. Regularly review your delegation and conflict management practices, seek feedback, and look for ways to improve. Continuous learning ensures your leadership skills stay sharp and your team keeps growing. To sum up, effective delegation and constructive conflict management are the hallmarks of great leadership. By empowering your team, you create a culture of trust, accountability, and innovation. Remember, leadership is not about control, it's about enabling others to succeed. As you move forward, challenge yourself to delegate more thoughtfully and embrace conflict as a catalyst for growth. Empowerment in action means trusting your team, communicating openly, and turning challenges into opportunities. That's the path from micromanagement to true leadership. Work group is often structured with clear roles and responsibilities, and members may work independently toward individual goals. In contrast, a team is defined by its fluid structure, shared accountability, and collective performance. Teams are typically formed to tackle complex interdisciplinary problems, often for a limited time. This lack of rigid hierarchy allows for greater flexibility and innovation, but it also demands a higher level of trust and communication among members. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for leaders aiming to build high-performing teams. Like traditional work groups, teams often lack a formal internal structure. This means roles can shift as the project evolves, and leadership may be distributed rather than centralized. Such flexibility enables teams to adapt quickly to new challenges, but it also requires clear communication and mutual respect. Leaders must foster an environment where every member feels empowered to contribute, regardless of their official title or position. This adaptability is a hallmark of high-performance teams. A true team, success and failure are shared. Members hold each other accountable, and everyone's performance impacts the group's outcomes. This shared responsibility creates a powerful sense of unity and motivation. When everyone is invested in the team's goals, individuals are more likely to go the extra mile, support one another, and celebrate collective achievements. Leaders play a vital role in reinforcing this culture of shared accountability. Teams are often assembled for a specific purpose and may disband once their objectives are met. This time-limited existence can create a sense of urgency and focus, driving members to collaborate intensely and efficiently. However, it also means that leaders must quickly establish trust, clarify goals, and set expectations. The ability to form, perform, and dissolve teams effectively is a critical skill in today's fast-paced organization. Lead teams effectively, it's essential to understand the key dimensions that shape group dynamics. These include size, cohesion, flexibility, openness, polarization, stability, intimacy, attractiveness, participation, and autonomy. Each dimension influences how a team functions and how members interact. Leaders who grasp these factors can tailor their approach to maximize team performance and satisfaction. Size of a team significantly affects its dynamics. Smaller teams often communicate more easily and build stronger relationships, while larger teams can draw on a wider range of skills and perspectives. However, as team size increases, coordination becomes more challenging and the risk of social loafing rises. Leaders must find the right balance, ensuring the team is large enough to be effective but small enough to remain cohesive. Cohesion refers to the strength of the bonds between team members. High cohesion leads to greater trust, collaboration, and satisfaction. However, too much cohesion can result in groupthink, where dissenting opinions are suppressed. Leaders should encourage open dialogue and diversity of thought while fostering a sense of belonging. The right level of cohesion is a powerful driver of team performance. Flexibility allows teams to adapt to changing circumstances, while openness encourages the free flow of ideas. Teams that are both flexible and open can respond quickly to new challenges and opportunities. Leaders should create an environment where experimentation is encouraged and mistakes are seen as learning opportunities. This mindset fosters innovation and resilience within the team. Polarization occurs when team members' opinions become more extreme, often as a result of group discussions. Stability, on the other hand, refers to the consistency of team membership and processes. While some degree of polarization can spark creativity, too much can lead to conflict and division. Stability provides a foundation for trust and long-term collaboration. Leaders must manage these forces to maintain a healthy team dynamic. Intimacy in teams refers to the closeness and trust among members, while attractiveness is about the appeal of being part of the group. High intimacy leads to better communication and support, while attractiveness draws in new talent and keeps members engaged. Leaders can enhance both by fostering a positive team culture, celebrating achievements, and addressing conflicts promptly. Participation measures how actively members contribute to the team's work, while autonomy reflects the freedom individuals have in their roles. High participation and autonomy empower members to take initiative, share ideas, and drive results. Leaders should encourage everyone to have a voice and provide the space for independent decision-making. This balance leads to greater engagement and innovation. Social facilitation is a fascinating phenomenon, where the presence of others can enhance performance on simple tasks but may hinder it on complex ones. When team members feel observed, they often work faster or more accurately on routine activities. However, for challenging or unfamiliar tasks, the same presence can increase anxiety and reduce effectiveness. Leaders should be mindful of when to encourage group observation and when to provide privacy for deep work. Individuation occurs when individuals lose their sense of personal identity within a group, leading to reduced self-restraint and sometimes impulsive behavior. This can be both positive and negative. In some cases, it fosters unity and collective action. In others, it may result in poor decision-making or even unethical conduct. Leaders must create structures that promote accountability and individual responsibility, even within a cohesive team. Bystander effect describes how individuals in a group are less likely to take action in emergencies, assuming someone else will step in. This diffusion of responsibility can have serious consequences, especially in high-stakes situations. Leaders should assign clear roles and encourage proactive behavior to counteract this tendency. Making individual contributions visible helps ensure that everyone feels responsible for the team's outcome. Social loafing is the tendency for individuals to put in less effort when working in a group compared to working alone. This can undermine team performance and morale. Leaders can combat social loafing by making each member's contributions identifiable, setting clear expectations, and recognizing individual achievements. A culture of accountability and appreciation helps keep everyone engaged and motivated. Conformity is the tendency to adjust one's behavior or thinking to align with group norms. While conformity can promote harmony and cooperation, it can also stifle creativity and discourage dissent. Leaders should encourage respectful debate and create a safe space for diverse perspectives. Balancing conformity with individuality is essential for innovation and effective problem-solving. Obedience to authority is a powerful social force. While respect for leadership is important, blind obedience can lead to poor decisions and even ethical lapses. Leaders must model ethical behavior and encourage team members to question decisions when necessary. Open communication and a culture of integrity help prevent the dangers of unchecked authority. Group decision-making can harness the collective intelligence of a team, but it also comes with risks. Group polarization may push decisions toward extremes, while groupthink can suppress dissent in favor of harmony. Leaders should facilitate open discussions, encourage critical thinking, and actively seek out alternative viewpoints to ensure sound decision-making. Group polarization occurs when discussions within a team lead members to adopt more extreme positions than they initially held. This can drive innovation but also increase the risk of conflict or poor decisions. Leaders should be aware of this tendency and encourage balanced, evidence-based discussions to keep the team grounded. Groupthink is a phenomenon where the desire for harmony and consensus overrides critical evaluation of ideas. This can lead to poor decisions and missed opportunities. Leaders must actively invite dissenting opinions and create an environment where questioning is valued. Encouraging a culture of constructive disagreement helps teams avoid the pitfalls of groupthink. While cohesion is often seen as a positive force, it can also have negative consequences. High cohesion under positive leadership boosts performance and satisfaction. However, if the leadership is negative or toxic, strong cohesion can amplify harmful behaviors and groupthink. Leaders must be vigilant, ensuring that cohesion supports ethical and productive outcomes. Mobbing is a form of systematic workplace bullying where one or more individuals target a colleague through persistent negative behavior. This can include exclusion, verbal abuse, or sabotage. Mobbing damages morale, productivity, and even mental health. Recognizing the signs early is crucial for intervention and prevention. Mobbing typically unfolds in several phases: initial conflict, escalation, stigmatization of the victim, and eventual expulsion or resignation. Each phase intensifies the harm to the victim and the team. Leaders must intervene early, addressing conflicts before they escalate and providing support to those affected. Perpetrators of mobbing can be anyone in the organization: supervisors, peers, or even subordinates. Often they exploit power dynamics or group norms to target individuals who are different or perceived as threats. Understanding the motivations behind mobbing helps leaders identify and address the root causes, creating a safer workplace for everyone. Victims of mobbing are often those who stand out due to their skills, personality, or even vulnerability. They may be new employees, high performers, or individuals who challenge the status quo. Leaders must be attentive to signs of exclusion or distress and take steps to protect and support those at risk. Mobbing often arises from stress, poor management, unclear roles, or toxic workplace cultures. High-pressure environments can exacerbate tensions and make negative behaviors more likely. Leaders must address these root causes by promoting transparency, setting clear expectations, and fostering a culture of respect and inclusion. Early recognition of mobbing is vital for effective intervention. Warning signs include sudden changes in team dynamics, increased absenteeism, or a drop in morale. Leaders should maintain open lines of communication and encourage team members to speak up about concerns. Proactive monitoring helps catch issues before they escalate. When mobbing is identified, swift intervention is essential. Leaders should investigate impartially, provide support to victims, and hold perpetrators accountable. Clear policies and procedures help ensure fairness and consistency. Training managers to recognize and address mobbing can prevent recurrence and promote a healthier workplace. Preventing mobbing starts with building a positive team culture. Leaders should set clear expectations for behavior, model respect, and encourage inclusivity. Regular training on communication and conflict resolution equips teams to handle challenges constructively. Prevention is always more effective than cure. Bystanders play a critical role in either enabling or stopping mobbing. When witnesses remain passive, the behavior is likely to continue. Leaders should empower all team members to speak up and intervene when they see inappropriate conduct. Creating a culture where everyone feels responsible for the team's well-being is key to prevention. Trust is the foundation of any high-performance team. It enables open communication, risk-taking, and collaboration. Leaders can build trust by being transparent, keeping promises, and showing genuine concern for team members' well-being. Trust takes time to develop but can be lost quickly, so it must be nurtured continuously. Clear, honest communication is essential for team success. It prevents misunderstandings, resolves conflicts, and ensures everyone is aligned with the team's goals. Leaders should encourage regular check-ins, active listening, and constructive feedback. A culture of open communication helps teams navigate challenges and seize opportunities. High-performance teams are driven by clear, shared goals. Leaders should involve the team in goal setting, ensuring everyone understands and commits to the objectives. Regularly reviewing progress and celebrating milestones keeps motivation high and helps the team stay focused on what matters most. Diverse teams bring a wealth of perspectives, skills, and experiences. Leaders should actively seek out and value diversity, creating an inclusive environment where everyone feels welcome. Diversity drives innovation and helps teams solve complex problems more effectively. Psychological safety means team members feel safe to take risks, share ideas, and admit mistakes without fear of ridicule or retribution. Leaders can foster this by modeling vulnerability, encouraging questions, and responding supportively to feedback. Psychological safety is a key ingredient for learning and growth. Empowerment means giving team members the authority and resources to make decisions and take action. Leaders should delegate responsibility, provide necessary support, and trust their teams to deliver. Empowered teams are more engaged, innovative, and resilient in the face of challenges. Recognizing and celebrating achievements, both big and small, boosts morale and reinforces positive behaviors. Leaders should make it a habit to acknowledge individual and team successes, fostering a culture of appreciation. Celebrations help build camaraderie and motivate teams to keep striving for excellence. High-performance teams are committed to continuous learning and improvement. Leaders should encourage ongoing training, reflection, and knowledge sharing. Creating opportunities for growth keeps teams adaptable and ready to meet new challenges. Conflict is inevitable in any team, but it doesn't have to be destructive. Leaders should address conflicts promptly and constructively, focusing on the issues rather than personalities. Teaching conflict resolution skills and modeling respectful disagreement helps teams grow stronger through challenges. Change is a constant in modern organizations. High-performance teams embrace change by staying flexible, open-minded, and proactive. Leaders should communicate changes clearly, involve the team in planning, and support members through transitions. Adaptability is a key trait of successful teams. Technology can enhance team collaboration, communication, and productivity. Leaders should leverage digital tools to facilitate remote work, streamline processes, and keep everyone connected. Choosing the right technology for your team's needs is essential for maximizing efficiency and engagement. Regularly measuring team performance helps identify strengths and areas for improvement. Leaders should use a mix of quantitative and qualitative metrics, involving the team in the evaluation process. Transparent feedback and data-driven decisions keep teams on track and striving for excellence. Sustaining high performance requires ongoing effort and attention. Leaders should regularly revisit team goals, celebrate progress, and address challenges as they arise. Keeping the team motivated and aligned ensures long-term success, even as circumstances change. Conclusion: building and leading high-performance teams is both an art and a science. By understanding group dynamics, harnessing the power of social phenomena, and addressing challenges like mobbing, leaders can create teams that are resilient, innovative, and deeply connected. Remember, every team is a unique mosaic. Each member brings something valuable to the table. With the right leadership, these diverse pieces come together to achieve extraordinary results. First, let's distinguish between a work position and a role. A position is the formal objective title you hold, like project manager or developer. It's defined by job descriptions and organizational charts. A role, on the other hand, is dynamic. It's about the behaviors and expectations that come with your position, shaped by your team's needs and culture. For example, two people with the same position might play very different roles depending on their personalities and the team's situation. Mastering your role means not just knowing your tasks, but also understanding how you're expected to interact and contribute. Mastering your team role isn't always straightforward. Expectations can come from many directions: yourself, your colleagues, your manager, and even the broader environment. Sometimes these expectations conflict. For instance, you might feel pressure to be both a strict rule follower and a creative problem solver. Navigating these demands requires self-awareness and adaptability. That's why ongoing feedback is so important. Regular performance appraisals and open conversations help clarify what's working and where adjustments are needed, making it easier to align your role with the team's evolving goals. Every team operates under a set of unwritten rules known as social norms. These norms guide how members cooperate, compete, and resolve conflicts. They're not written in any handbook, but they shape daily interactions and decisions. For example, some teams value open debate while others prioritize harmony. Leaders play a crucial role in shaping these norms, steering the group toward collaboration and shared goals. By fostering good working conditions, encouraging autonomy, and promoting conflict resolution, leaders help create an environment where positive norms can flourish. Leaders have the challenging task of guiding team norms in a productive direction. This means more than just setting rules, it's about modeling the right behaviors and creating a culture of trust. Leaders should ensure that everyone understands the team's goals and feels empowered to contribute. They also need to address conflicts quickly and fairly so that disagreements don't undermine collaboration. By supporting autonomy and encouraging mutual aid, leaders help teams build resilience and adaptability, which are essential for long-term success. Now let's dive into the core of team dynamics, the different roles that members play. Every successful team needs a mix of roles to function well. These roles aren't just about job titles, they're about the unique contributions each person makes. We can group essential team roles into three main categories: goal achievement roles, analytical and control roles, and team maintenance roles. Understanding these categories helps teams assign responsibilities more effectively and ensures that all critical functions are covered. Goal achievement roles are all about driving the team forward. These include the initiator, who sparks new ideas and gets things moving; the information seeker and giver, who gather and share knowledge; the opinion giver, who offers perspectives; the coordinator, who organizes efforts; and the summarizer, who keeps everyone on the same page. These roles ensure that the team stays focused, informed, and aligned with its objectives. When these roles are filled, teams are more likely to achieve their goals efficiently. Analytical and control roles help teams stay on track and maintain high standards. The evaluator or critic assesses ideas and decisions, ensuring quality and feasibility. The rule definer sets boundaries and clarifies expectations, while the controller monitors progress and enforces standards. These roles are essential for preventing mistakes, maintaining discipline, and ensuring that the team's work meets its goals. Without them, teams can lose focus or drift off course. Team maintenance roles are all about keeping the group healthy and cohesive. The encourager boosts morale and recognizes contributions. The gatekeeper ensures everyone has a voice, while the feeling expressor helps the team stay emotionally balanced. The tension reliever diffuses stress, and the compromiser helps resolve disagreements. These roles are crucial for building trust, maintaining motivation, and creating a supportive team environment. When team maintenance roles are strong, teams are more resilient and better equipped to handle challenges. Not all behaviors help the team. Some actions, known as role-blocking behaviors, can paralyze teamwork. These include aggression, where someone dominates or intimidates others; obstruction, where progress is deliberately slowed; clowning, where jokes distract from the task; and withdrawal, where a member disengages. Recognizing and addressing these behaviors is vital for maintaining a productive team environment. Leaders and members alike should be vigilant and proactive in keeping these negative patterns in check. Teams don't become high-performing overnight. They go through a series of developmental stages, each with its own challenges and opportunities. Understanding these stages helps teams anticipate issues and support each other as they grow. The classic model outlines 5 key stages: orientation, confrontation, rule creation, performance, and maintenance or adjourning. Let's walk through each stage to see how teams evolve and what's needed for success at every step. First stage is orientation. Here, team members meet, get to know each other, and start to find their place within the group. There's often a sense of excitement mixed with uncertainty. People are figuring out the team's purpose, their own roles, and how they fit in. Leaders can help by providing clear information, setting expectations, and encouraging open communication. This stage lays the foundation for trust and collaboration. Next comes confrontation. As members settle in, differences in opinions, values, and working styles start to surface. Power struggles and conflicts over influence or unmet expectations are common. This stage can be uncomfortable, but it's a natural part of team growth. Effective conflict resolution and honest communication are key. Leaders should encourage respectful debate and help the team find common ground, turning conflict into an opportunity for stronger collaboration. After working through conflicts, teams enter the rule creation stage. Here, members establish shared norms and principles that guide their work together. These rules might cover communication, decision-making, or how to handle disagreements. Setting clear norms helps the team operate smoothly and reduces misunderstandings. Leaders play a key role in facilitating this process, ensuring that everyone's voice is heard and that the rules reflect the team's values and goals. The performance stage, the team hits its stride. Roles are cemented, collaboration feels natural, and productivity soars. Members trust each other and communicate openly. The team can tackle complex tasks efficiently and adapt to new challenges. Leaders should focus on supporting the team, removing obstacles, and celebrating successes. This is the stage where teams achieve their best results and experience the satisfaction of working together seamlessly. Finally, teams reach the maintenance or adjourning stage. This is when the team either disbands or prepares for future collaboration. It's a time to reflect on achievements, address any lingering issues, and celebrate successes. Team-building activities can help solidify positive relationships and ensure that members part on good terms. Even if the team continues, this stage is a chance to recharge and set new goals for the next phase. Feedback is the lifeblood of effective teams. Regular, constructive feedback helps members understand how they're doing and where they can improve. It also builds trust and keeps everyone aligned with the team's goals. Leaders should encourage a culture of open feedback where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts and suggestions. This not only improves performance but also strengthens relationships within the team. Teams must be adaptable to thrive in a changing environment. This means being open to new ideas, learning from mistakes, and adjusting roles as needed. Flexibility allows teams to respond quickly to challenges and seize new opportunities. Leaders can support adaptability by fostering a growth mindset and encouraging experimentation. When teams embrace change, they become more resilient and innovative. Trust is the foundation of any successful team. It's built through consistent actions, open communication, and mutual respect. When team members trust each other, they're more willing to share ideas, take risks, and support one another. Leaders can build trust by being transparent, keeping promises, and showing appreciation for everyone's contributions. Over time, trust transforms a group of individuals into a cohesive, high-performing team. Conflicts are inevitable in any team, but how they're handled makes all the difference. Effective conflict resolution involves listening to all sides, finding common ground, and working toward solutions that benefit the team. Leaders should model calm, respectful communication and encourage members to address issues early. When conflicts are resolved constructively, teams grow stronger and more united. Autonomy empowers team members to take initiative and make decisions. When people feel trusted to manage their own work, they're more motivated and engaged. Leaders can encourage autonomy by setting clear expectations, providing resources, and stepping back to let the team take ownership. This not only boosts performance but also helps members develop new skills and confidence. Shared goals are the glue that holds teams together. When everyone is working toward the same objectives, collaboration becomes easier and more effective. Leaders should ensure that goals are clear, achievable, and aligned with the team's values. Regular check-ins help keep everyone focused and motivated. Celebrating progress along the way reinforces commitment and keeps morale high. Communication is the backbone of teamwork. Clear, honest communication prevents misunderstandings and ensures that everyone is on the same page. Teams should establish regular channels for sharing information, whether through meetings, emails, or chat platforms. Leaders can set the tone by being approachable and encouraging open dialogue. When communication flows smoothly, teams are more agile and responsive. Recognizing and celebrating success is vital for team morale. Whether it's a major milestone or a small win, taking time to acknowledge achievements boosts motivation and reinforces positive behaviors. Leaders should make celebration a regular part of team culture, using both formal and informal recognition. This helps members feel valued and encourages them to keep striving for excellence. High-performing teams are always looking for ways to improve. This means regularly reviewing processes, seeking feedback, and experimenting with new approaches. Leaders can support continuous improvement by fostering a culture of learning and encouraging members to share ideas. When teams are committed to growth, they stay competitive and adaptable in a changing world. Flexibility in roles allows teams to adapt to changing needs. Sometimes members need to step outside their usual responsibilities to fill gaps or support others. This requires a willingness to learn and a team-first mindset. Leaders can encourage flexibility by recognizing and rewarding those who go above and beyond. When everyone is willing to pitch in, teams become more resilient and effective. Psychological safety means that team members feel safe to speak up, share ideas, and admit mistakes without fear of ridicule or punishment. This environment encourages creativity and risk-taking, which are essential for innovation. Leaders can foster psychological safety by listening actively, showing empathy, and responding constructively to feedback. When teams feel safe, they're more likely to collaborate and push boundaries. Clear roles prevent confusion and overlap. When everyone knows what's expected of them, the team operates more smoothly. Leaders should regularly review roles and responsibilities, especially as the team grows or changes. Open discussions about roles help address any ambiguities and ensure that all critical tasks are covered. Role clarity leads to greater accountability and efficiency. Diverse teams bring a wider range of perspectives, skills, and experiences. This diversity fuels creativity and leads to better problem solving. Leaders should value and leverage differences, creating an inclusive environment where everyone feels welcome. When teams embrace diversity, they're more innovative and better equipped to tackle complex challenges. Mutual support is the backbone of strong teams. When members help each other, share knowledge, and offer encouragement, everyone benefits. Leaders can promote mutual support by recognizing collaborative efforts and creating opportunities for members to work together. This culture of support builds trust and makes the team more resilient in the face of challenges. Setbacks are inevitable, but how teams respond determines their long-term success. Resilient teams view setbacks as learning opportunities. They analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and move forward stronger than before. Leaders should model a positive attitude and encourage the team to stay focused on solutions. This approach turns challenges into stepping stones for growth. Team-building activities strengthen relationships and improve collaboration. These can range from simple icebreakers to complex problem-solving exercises. The goal is to build trust, improve communication, and create a sense of belonging. Leaders should incorporate team building into regular routines, especially during transitions or after major projects. Stronger relationships lead to better teamwork and higher performance. Experience is a powerful teacher. Teams that reflect on their successes and failures learn valuable lessons for the future. Leaders can facilitate learning by holding regular debriefs and encouraging honest discussions about what worked and what didn't. This habit of reflection helps teams avoid repeating mistakes and continuously improve their performance. Technology plays a vital role in modern teamwork. Tools for communication, project management, and collaboration make it easier to stay connected and organized. Leaders should choose the right tools for their team's needs and ensure everyone is comfortable using them. When technology is used effectively, it streamlines workflows and enhances productivity. Remote teams face unique challenges such as communication barriers and feelings of isolation. To succeed, they need clear processes, regular check-ins, and strong trust. Leaders should prioritize transparency and create opportunities for virtual connection. With the right strategies, remote teams can be just as effective, and sometimes even more so than teams working in the same location. Measuring success goes beyond just hitting targets. Teams should also track progress on collaboration, communication, and personal growth. Leaders can use surveys, performance metrics, and regular reviews to assess how the team is doing. Celebrating both big wins and small improvements keeps everyone motivated and focused on continuous progress. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage emotions, both your own and others. Teams with high emotional intelligence communicate better, resolve conflicts more effectively, and build stronger relationships. Leaders can develop emotional intelligence by modeling empathy, self-awareness, and self-regulation. This skill set is essential for navigating the complexities of teamwork. Healthy teams balance competition and cooperation. A little friendly competition can boost motivation, but too much can create divisions. Leaders should encourage collaboration while recognizing individual achievements. When teams strike the right balance, they stay motivated and united in pursuit of shared goals. Leaders' role is multifaceted. They set the vision, model desired behaviors, and support the team through challenges. Good leaders are approachable, fair, and proactive in addressing issues. They also empower members to take ownership and contribute their best. By balancing guidance with autonomy, leaders help teams reach their full potential. Sustaining high performance requires ongoing effort. Teams need to revisit goals, refresh roles, and renew their commitment to collaboration. Leaders should monitor team health and address burnout before it becomes a problem. Regular check-ins and celebrations help maintain momentum and keep the team energized for the long haul. Failure is a natural part of growth. Teams that learn from failure become stronger and more innovative. Leaders should create a safe space for discussing mistakes and encourage the team to extract lessons from setbacks. This mindset turns failures into valuable learning experiences and fuels future success. Diversity isn't just about demographics, it's about embracing different perspectives, skills, and backgrounds. Teams that celebrate diversity are more creative and adaptable. Leaders can foster inclusion by encouraging everyone to share their ideas and respecting different viewpoints. This creates a richer, more dynamic team environment. Motivation can fluctuate, especially during long projects. Leaders can keep motivation high by setting clear milestones, recognizing progress, and providing opportunities for growth. Team members should support each other and celebrate small wins along the way. Sustained motivation leads to better outcomes and a more positive team experience. Change is constant in today's world. Teams that anticipate and prepare for change are more resilient. Leaders should communicate upcoming changes early and involve the team in planning. This reduces anxiety and helps everyone adapt more smoothly. By embracing change, teams stay agile and ready for whatever comes next. Summary: successful teams are built on clear roles, strong norms, and a commitment to continuous development. By understanding the anatomy of a team, from positions and roles to the stages of growth, you can contribute more effectively and help your team reach new heights. Remember, teamwork is a journey. With the right mindset and strategies, any group can transform into a high-performing team. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of team dynamics. Max Weber, a foundational thinker in sociology, defined power as the possibility of imposing one's will upon the behavior of others. This definition is simple but profound. It means that power isn't just about titles or positions, it's about the real ability to shape outcomes even when others might resist. Weber's perspective helps us see that power operates everywhere, not just in the boardroom, but in every interaction where influence is at play. Understanding this definition sets the stage for everything else we'll discuss. Weber identified three pure types of power: punishing power, compensatory or reward power, and conditional power. Punishing power is the ability to enforce compliance through threats or consequences. Compensatory power works by offering rewards or incentives. Conditional power is more subtle, relying on changing people's beliefs and attitudes. Each type plays a unique role in organizations, and understanding them helps us recognize the different ways influence is exercised in our daily work lives. Power doesn't just come from one place. Weber described three main sources: personality, property, and organization. Personality includes charisma and the ability to inspire others by example. Property refers to tangible resources like money, but the most important and often overlooked source is organization. Organizational power is subjective and can be hard to spot, but it's what really drives influence in most workplaces. Recognizing these sources helps us understand why some people seem powerful even without formal authority. It's crucial to distinguish between authority and power. Authority, or pravmak, is the formal, position-based right to influence others. It's what comes with a job title or official role. Power, or mak, is different. It's the informal, real ability to influence even when people resist. Sometimes people with little authority have a lot of power, and vice versa. Understanding this difference helps us see why some individuals are more influential than their job descriptions suggest. Power isn't static, it depends on several factors. The ability to manage uncertainty is key. Those who can handle unpredictable situations often gain influence. Substitutability matters too. If your skills or resources are hard to replace, your power increases. Finally, the importance of your resources to the organization determines how much sway you have. These factors explain why some people become indispensable and why others struggle to make an impact. Dive deeper, let's look at Raven's 6 bases of social power. These are the main ways people influence each other in organizations. They include informational persuasion, coercive threat of punishment, reward offering benefits, legitimate formal authority, expert superior skill or knowledge, and referent identification and liking. Each base offers a different path to influence, and most leaders use a mix depending on the situation. Informational power is all about persuasion. It's the ability to influence others by providing compelling facts, arguments, or insights. In many organizations, those who can communicate clearly and back up their ideas with evidence often become key influencers. This type of power is especially important in knowledge-based industries, where information is the main currency. Coercive power relies on the threat of punishment or negative consequences. It's a more forceful way to influence behavior, often used when compliance is critical. While it can be effective in the short term, overuse of coercive power can damage trust and morale. Leaders must use this base carefully, balancing the need for discipline with the importance of maintaining positive relationships. Reward power is the ability to offer benefits or incentives in exchange for desired behaviors. This can include promotions, bonuses, or even simple recognition. Reward power is often seen as more positive than coercive power, but it must be used thoughtfully. If rewards are expected or seem unfair, their effectiveness can diminish. The best leaders use rewards to motivate and reinforce the behaviors that drive organizational success. Legitimate power comes from formal authority. It's the influence you have because of your position in the organization. People comply because they recognize your right to make decisions. While legitimate power is necessary for order and structure, it's most effective when combined with other bases like expertise or personal appeal. Relying solely on formal authority can limit your ability to inspire and engage others. Expert power is based on superior skill or knowledge. When people see you as an authority in your field, they're more likely to follow your lead. This type of power is especially important in technical or specialized roles where expertise is highly valued. Building expert power takes time and continuous learning, but it's one of the most sustainable forms of influence. Referent power comes from identification and liking. People are influenced by those they admire or want to emulate. This base of power is often seen in charismatic leaders who inspire loyalty and commitment. Building referent power means developing strong relationships, showing integrity, and being someone others want to follow. It's a subtle but powerful way to lead. Most effective leaders don't rely on just one base of power. Instead, they blend several, adapting their approach to the situation and the people involved. For example, a manager might use legitimate power to set direction, expert power to solve problems, and referent power to build team spirit. This flexibility is key to long-term influence and organizational success. There's an important distinction between positional power, having power for its own sake, and functional power, which is used to achieve institutional goals. Positional power can lead to self-serving behavior, while functional power is associated with mature, socialized personalities who put the organization's interests first. Understanding this difference helps us evaluate leaders and their impact on the workplace. Functional power is a sign of maturity. Leaders who use their influence to advance institutional goals rather than personal interests create healthier, more productive organizations. They focus on collaboration, shared vision, and long-term success. This approach builds trust and encourages others to contribute their best efforts. Micropolitics refers to the everyday, often hidden strategies individuals use to advance their personal and professional interests. Unlike formal politics, micropolitics happens below the surface, shaping decisions and relationships in subtle ways. Understanding micropolitics helps us navigate complex workplaces and recognize the real sources of influence. Micropolitics can be analyzed through three dimensions: attitudes, strategies, and tactics. Attitudes include things like internal entrepreneurship or Machiavellianism. Strategies focus on whether you use relational or factual logic. Tactics are the concrete methods you use to achieve your goals. Each dimension plays a role in how individuals gain and use power in organizations. Attitudes shape how people approach power. Some individuals act as internal entrepreneurs, always looking for new opportunities. Others may be more Machiavellian, focusing on personal gain. These attitudes influence the strategies and tactics people choose, affecting the overall culture and dynamics of the organization. Strategies in micropolitics can be relational or factual. Relational strategies focus on building alliances, networking, and managing relationships. Factual strategies rely on data, logic, and evidence to persuade others. Most successful professionals use a blend of both, adapting their approach to the situation and the people involved. Tactics are the specific actions people take to gain influence. These can range from direct methods like negotiation or persuasion to more subtle approaches like building coalitions or appealing to shared values. Understanding the range of tactics available helps you choose the right approach for each situation. Coercion and dominance tactics involve using authority or threats to get others to comply. These tactics can be effective in urgent situations but may create resistance or resentment if overused. Leaders must weigh the risks and benefits before choosing this approach, considering the long-term impact on relationships and morale. Reward and exchange tactics focus on offering something valuable in return for cooperation. This could be a tangible reward like a bonus or something less concrete like recognition or support. These tactics are generally well received, but they require leaders to understand what motivates each individual. Sometimes, individuals appeal to higher authority to gain support for their position. This tactic can be effective when facing resistance or when a decision requires formal approval. However, over-reliance on this approach can undermine your own credibility and autonomy, so it's best used sparingly. Rational argumentation involves using logic, facts, and evidence to persuade others. This tactic is especially effective in data-driven environments or when making complex decisions. It builds credibility and trust, but it requires strong communication skills and a willingness to listen to counterarguments. Coalition building is about forming alliances with others to achieve common goals. By pooling resources and influence, individuals can increase their power and effectiveness. This tactic requires strong networking skills and the ability to find shared interests among diverse stakeholders. Personal attraction and charisma can be powerful tools for influence. People are naturally drawn to those who are confident, engaging, and authentic. Charismatic individuals often inspire loyalty and enthusiasm, making it easier to rally support for their ideas and initiatives. Idealization and ideology tactics involve appealing to shared values, beliefs, or visions. Leaders who can articulate a compelling vision often unite people around common goals. This approach is especially effective in times of change or uncertainty, when people are looking for meaning and direction. Selecting the right tactic depends on the situation, the people involved, and your goals. Effective leaders assess the context and adapt their approach, blending different tactics as needed. This flexibility is what sets successful influencers apart from the rest. Power dynamics play out in every team, shaping how decisions are made and how work gets done. Recognizing these dynamics helps you navigate group interactions more effectively, whether you're leading a project or contributing as a team member. Awareness is the first step to managing power constructively. Many power structures in organizations are subjective and go unnoticed. Informal networks, personal relationships, and unwritten rules often have more impact than official hierarchies. Learning to spot these hidden sources of influence can give you an edge in navigating organizational life. Those who can manage uncertainty often gain more power. In times of change or crisis, people look to those who remain calm and provide direction. Developing this skill not only increases your influence but also helps your team navigate challenges more effectively. If your skills or resources are hard to replace, your power increases. This is why specialists and experts often have significant influence, even if they don't hold formal authority. Investing in unique skills and knowledge is a smart way to build your own power base. The more important your resources are to the organization, the more power you have. This could be information, expertise, or access to key networks. Understanding what your organization values most can help you position yourself as an indispensable contributor. Charisma is a powerful source of influence. Leaders who can inspire and energize others often achieve more, not just because of their ideas but because of the enthusiasm they generate. Charisma can't replace competence, but it amplifies your ability to lead and motivate. Property or access to resources like money is a classic source of power. In organizations, those who control budgets or have financial authority often wield significant influence. However, property alone isn't enough. How you use those resources matters just as much. Personality power comes from setting an example and inspiring others. Leaders who act with integrity and consistency build trust and loyalty. This type of power is subtle but enduring, shaping organizational culture over time. Organizational power is often the most significant but least visible. It's embedded in structures, processes, and the way work is organized. Those who understand and navigate these systems effectively can wield considerable influence, even without formal authority. Power is often exercised in the face of resistance. True influence means being able to achieve your goals even when others push back. This requires persistence, adaptability, and a deep understanding of what motivates people. With great power comes great responsibility. Ethical leaders use their influence to benefit the organization and its people, not just themselves. They set standards for behavior and hold themselves accountable, building a culture of trust and respect. Everyone has the potential to develop their own power base. By building expertise, cultivating relationships, and understanding organizational dynamics, you can increase your influence and make a greater impact. It's a journey that requires self-awareness and continuous learning. Power plays a critical role in driving organizational change. Those who can mobilize support, overcome resistance, and align people around a shared vision are essential to successful transformation. Understanding power dynamics helps you lead change more effectively. We've covered a lot of ground, from classic definitions of power to the practical tactics used in everyday micropolitics. Understanding the different bases and sources of power, as well as the distinction between authority and real influence, is essential for navigating any organization. Remember, power is not inherently good or bad, it's how you use it that counts. As you apply these concepts in your own work, focus on using power ethically and constructively. Seek to advance not just your own interests but the goals of your team and organization. Ethical use of power builds trust, fosters collaboration, and leads to lasting success. In conclusion, power is the true currency of organizations. It shapes decisions, drives change, and determines who succeeds. By understanding and using power wisely, you can become a more effective leader and contributor. Remember, the most influential people are those who use their power to create value for others and the organization as a whole. Organizational culture is more than just a set of rules or a catchy slogan on the wall. It's the collection of shared artifacts, values, and basic assumptions that guide how people behave. Think of it as the organization's personality, what's considered normal, what's celebrated, and even what's frowned upon. These elements work together to create a unique environment that influences every decision, big or small. By understanding these layers, you can start to see why some organizations feel innovative and open, while others might seem rigid or traditional. Let's break down the three levels of organizational culture. At the deepest level are basic assumptions. These are unconscious beliefs that everyone takes for granted. Next, we have values and norms, which are the shared principles and standards that guide behavior. Finally, on the surface, we see artifacts, visible signs like logos, rituals, and even the language people use. Each level plays a role in shaping how people act and interact. Together, they form the backbone of an organization's identity and daily life. Basic assumptions are the deepest, most ingrained part of culture. They're so fundamental that people rarely question them. For example, in some organizations, it's assumed that everyone should speak up in meetings, while in others, silence is valued. These assumptions shape how people interpret situations and make decisions, often without realizing it. Because they're unconscious, changing them can be challenging, but it's also where the most profound cultural shifts happen. Moving up a level, values and norms are the shared beliefs about what's important and how things should be done. These are often expressed in mission statements or codes of conduct. They guide behavior by setting expectations like valuing innovation, teamwork, or customer service. When everyone shares these values, it's easier to work together and make decisions quickly. But if values are unclear or inconsistent, confusion and conflict can arise. Artifacts are the most visible part of culture. These include things like logos, dress codes, office layouts, and rituals such as team meetings or annual celebrations. Artifacts are easy to spot, but they only make sense when you understand the deeper values and assumptions behind them. For example, an open office layout might reflect a value of collaboration, while formal dress codes might signal professionalism. Artifacts are the tip of the cultural iceberg. Strong organizational culture is clear, widespread, and deeply rooted. Everyone knows what the organization stands for, and these beliefs are shared across all levels. This clarity helps people understand what's expected of them and makes it easier to make decisions quickly. Strong cultures can be a source of pride and motivation, uniting people around a common purpose. However, they can also create challenges if they become too rigid or resistant to change. Strong cultures make organizations easier to understand and manage. They enable fast decision-making because everyone shares the same values and expectations. With less need for constant supervision, people feel trusted and empowered. Motivation increases and employees are more likely to go the extra mile. When culture is strong, it acts as a guiding compass, helping everyone move in the same direction with confidence. Strong cultures have many benefits. They can also create problems. Sometimes a strong culture leads to closed-mindedness, where new ideas are dismissed simply because they don't fit the norm. Organizations may become fixated on tradition, making it hard to adapt to change. There's also the risk of collective avoidance of criticism. People might hesitate to speak up about problems, fearing they'll go against the group. Recognizing these downsides is key to keeping culture healthy. Culture and management are deeply connected. Leaders play a crucial role in shaping and maintaining culture, whether they realize it or not. The way managers communicate, make decisions, and handle conflict all send powerful signals about what's valued. By aligning management practices with cultural values, organizations can create a more cohesive and effective workplace. But when there's a mismatch, confusion and frustration can quickly follow. There are two main ways to look at organizational culture. The objectivist view sees culture as something stable and integrative, a set of shared beliefs that hold the organization together. The interpretive view, on the other hand, sees culture as a social construct, shaped by the interactions and interpretations of its members. Both perspectives offer valuable insights, and understanding them helps leaders navigate the complexities of culture. Objectivist perspective treats culture as a real, tangible force that integrates and stabilizes the organization. It's like the glue that holds everything together, creating consistency and predictability. Leaders who adopt this view focus on reinforcing shared values and norms, using rituals and symbols to strengthen unity. This approach works well in stable environments where consistency is key, but it can struggle when rapid change is needed. Interpretive perspective sees culture as a living, evolving process. It's not something imposed from above, but created through everyday interactions and shared meanings. Leaders who embrace this view focus on dialogue, storytelling, and sense-making. They encourage people to question assumptions and co-create new ways of working. This approach is especially valuable in dynamic environments where adaptability and innovation are essential. It's important to distinguish between organizational identity and image. Identity is how the organization sees itself, its core values, mission, and unique character. Image, on the other hand, is how outsiders perceive the organization. While identity is shaped from within, image is influenced by external communication, branding, and public perception. Aligning identity and image is crucial for building trust and credibility. Organizational identity is the self-concept of the firm, shaped by internal communication, design, and behavior. It's about what the organization stands for, what makes it unique, and how it wants to be seen by its members. Leaders play a key role in defining and communicating this identity, ensuring that it aligns with strategy and inspires commitment from employees. Organizational image is how the public perceives the company. It's shaped by branding, marketing, media coverage, and customer experiences. While leaders can influence image through strategic communication, it's ultimately determined by how outsiders interpret the organization's actions and messages. A strong, positive image can attract talent, customers, and partners, while a negative image can be hard to overcome. Ethics are the moral foundation of organizational culture. They're the shared norms and principles that guide what's considered right and wrong. Ethics should be more than just rules, they should be lived out in daily interactions and decisions. When ethics are strong, they foster trust, respect, and a sense of fairness. But when they're weak or ignored, the entire culture can suffer. Ethical behavior is visible in everyday choices: how leaders treat employees, how teams handle conflict, and how the organization responds to challenges. Dialogue is key. Open conversations about values and dilemmas help build a culture of integrity. Manipulation, dishonesty, or cutting corners are clear violations of organizational ethics and can quickly erode trust and morale. Manipulation is a direct violation of organizational ethics. Whether it's misleading communication, hidden agendas, or exploiting power dynamics, manipulation undermines trust and damages relationships. Ethical cultures are built on transparency, honesty, and respect. Leaders must set the tone by modeling ethical behavior and holding everyone accountable to high standards. Functional culture creates synergy. It coordinates actions, integrates diverse perspectives, and motivates people at every level. When culture is aligned with strategy and values, it amplifies the impact of leadership and teamwork. Employees feel connected to a larger purpose, and collaboration becomes second nature. This synergy is what sets high-performing organizations apart. Culture acts as a powerful coordination tool. Shared values and norms help people anticipate each other's actions and work together smoothly. This reduces the need for constant supervision and detailed instructions. When everyone is on the same page, teams can respond quickly to new challenges and opportunities, making the organization more agile and effective. Strong culture integrates people from different backgrounds, creating a sense of belonging. Through rituals, symbols, and shared stories, employees identify with the organization and each other. This identification fosters loyalty and commitment, making it easier to overcome obstacles and pursue common goals. Integration is especially important in diverse or rapidly growing organizations. Culture motivates employees by connecting their work to a larger purpose. When people see how their efforts contribute to shared goals, they're more engaged and willing to go above and beyond. Motivation isn't just about rewards, it's about feeling valued, respected, and part of something meaningful. Leaders can boost motivation by celebrating achievements and reinforcing cultural values. Alderfer's erg theory explains motivation in three categories: existence, relatedness, and growth. Existence covers basic needs like pay and safety. Relatedness is about relationships and belonging. Growth involves personal development and achievement. A strong culture supports all three, helping employees feel secure, connected, and empowered to grow. Existence needs are the foundation of motivation. They include physical and material needs like salary, benefits, and a safe work environment. Organizations that meet these needs create a sense of security, allowing employees to focus on higher-level goals. Culture plays a role by setting standards for fairness, safety, and support. Relatedness needs focus on relationships, feeling connected to others, and being part of a team. Culture shapes how people interact, communicate, and build trust. When relatedness needs are met, employees are more collaborative, supportive, and willing to help each other succeed. This sense of community is a key driver of engagement and retention. Growth needs are about personal and professional development. Employees want opportunities to learn, take on new challenges, and achieve their potential. A culture that values growth encourages innovation, supports learning, and celebrates progress. When people feel they can grow, they're more likely to stay motivated and committed. Leaders have a unique opportunity to shape culture intentionally. By modeling desired behaviors, communicating values clearly, and recognizing positive contributions, leaders can reinforce the culture they want to see. This proactive approach helps align everyone around shared goals and creates a sense of ownership and pride. Communication is the lifeblood of culture. The way leaders and teams talk about values, share stories, and handle feedback all shape the cultural environment. Open, honest communication builds trust and helps everyone understand what's expected. Regularly sharing success stories and lessons learned keeps culture alive and evolving. Design elements like office layout, branding, and rituals play a big role in shaping culture. Thoughtful design can reinforce values, encourage collaboration, and create a sense of belonging. Leaders should consider how physical and symbolic elements support the desired culture and make adjustments as needed. Culture is ultimately reflected in behavior, how people act when no one is watching. Leaders and employees alike shape culture through their everyday choices, from how they greet each other to how they handle mistakes. Consistent, values-driven behavior builds trust and sets the tone for the entire organization. Organizations must adapt their cultures to stay relevant. This means being open to new ideas, learning from mistakes, and embracing change. Leaders can support adaptation by encouraging experimentation, rewarding innovation, and creating safe spaces for feedback. Adaptable cultures are more resilient and better equipped to handle uncertainty. Cultural stagnation happens when organizations become too comfortable with the status quo. This can lead to complacency, resistance to change, and missed opportunities. Leaders must regularly assess the health of their culture, seek input from employees, and be willing to make changes when needed. Continuous improvement keeps culture vibrant and effective. Culture and strategy are two sides of the same coin. A great strategy can fail if the culture doesn't support it, while a strong culture can drive success even in challenging times. Leaders should ensure that culture and strategy are aligned, reinforcing each other to achieve organizational goals. Ethics should be at the heart of culture. When ethical values are woven into the fabric of the organization, they guide decision-making and behavior at every level. Leaders must ensure that ethical standards are clear, consistently applied, and reinforced through recognition and accountability. Trust is the foundation of any healthy culture. It's built through transparency, reliability, and respect. When people trust their leaders and colleagues, they're more willing to take risks, share ideas, and collaborate. Leaders can build trust by being open, following through on promises, and treating everyone fairly. Positive culture supports employee well-being by promoting work-life balance, respect, and support. When people feel cared for, they're more engaged, productive, and loyal. Leaders should prioritize well-being by listening to employee needs, providing resources, and fostering a supportive environment. During periods of change, culture becomes even more important. It provides stability, helps people make sense of uncertainty, and guides behavior. Leaders should communicate openly, reinforce core values, and support employees through transitions. A strong culture can turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Measuring culture can be challenging, but it's essential for improvement. Surveys, interviews, and observation can reveal how people experience culture and where gaps exist. Leaders should use this feedback to make informed changes and track progress over time. A culture that's regularly assessed stays healthy and responsive. Let's look at a real-world example. Imagine a company that values innovation and open communication. Leaders encourage employees to share ideas, experiment, and learn from failure. Rituals like weekly brainstorming sessions and recognition for creative solutions reinforce these values. As a result, the company adapts quickly to market changes and attracts top talent. From our case study, we see that culture isn't just words, it's lived out in daily actions. Leaders who walk the talk, celebrate successes, and learn from setbacks create a culture that's resilient and adaptable. The key is consistency, aligning words, actions, and values at every level of the organization. Leaders can shape culture by setting clear expectations, modeling desired behaviors, and providing regular feedback. It's important to involve employees in defining and evolving culture so everyone feels ownership. Recognizing and rewarding positive contributions reinforces the culture you want to build. Some common pitfalls include ignoring cultural mismatches, failing to address toxic behaviors, and letting values become empty slogans. Leaders must be vigilant, address issues quickly, and ensure that culture remains a living, breathing part of the organization. Avoiding these pitfalls keeps culture strong and effective. Sustaining a healthy culture requires ongoing effort. Leaders should regularly revisit values, celebrate milestones, and adapt to new challenges. Involving employees in cultural initiatives keeps energy high and ensures that culture evolves with the organization. A thriving culture is never static, it grows and adapts over time. In summary, organizational culture is a powerful strategic tool. It shapes identity, guides ethics, and drives performance. Leaders who understand and intentionally shape culture create organizations that are resilient, innovative, and ethical. By aligning culture with strategy and values, you can unlock the full potential of your team and build a workplace where everyone thrives. Power is a central concept in leadership, but its meaning and use can differ dramatically from one culture to another. In some countries, power is seen as a tool for coordination and efficiency, while in others, it's a symbol of status or tradition. These differences can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts if not properly managed. To illustrate, let's compare how power is viewed in the Czech Republic and Germany, two neighboring countries with distinct approaches. The Czech Republic, power tends to be functional. Leaders are expected to use their authority to solve problems and facilitate cooperation. The focus is on practical outcomes and team consensus. In contrast, German organizations often emphasize positional power. Here, authority is closely tied to one's formal role within the hierarchy. Decisions flow from the top down, and respect for rules and procedures is paramount. These subtle differences can have a big impact on how teams work together and how leaders are perceived. Moving to France, we encounter a culture where hierarchy is deeply ingrained. French organizations often display a strong sense of elitism with clear distinctions between different levels of authority. Leaders are expected to maintain a certain distance from their teams, and decision-making is typically centralized. This can create a sense of order and predictability, but may also limit open communication and innovation. Understanding these nuances is vital for anyone working with French colleagues or leading teams in France. Italy, leadership often takes on a family-like quality. Relationships are at the heart of organizational life, and leaders are expected to nurture close personal connections with their teams. Trust and loyalty are built through frequent interaction and mutual support. This approach can foster a strong sense of belonging and commitment, but may also blur the lines between professional and personal life. For expatriate leaders, adapting to this relationship-focused style is key to building effective teams in Italy. Japan presents a unique case where seniority plays a central role in leadership. Authority is often based on age and tenure rather than just merit or position. Respect for elders and established traditions shapes the way decisions are made and communicated. Leaders are expected to act as mentors, guiding their teams with patience and wisdom. This system can create stability and continuity, but may also slow down innovation and change. Navigating these expectations is essential for foreign managers in Japan. The United States, leadership is closely tied to meritocracy and the pursuit of success. Power is often earned through achievement, innovation, and results. Leaders are expected to inspire their teams, set ambitious goals, and reward performance. This culture values initiative and individual contributions, encouraging employees to speak up and challenge the status quo. While this can drive rapid progress, it may also create intense competition and pressure. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for anyone leading or working in American organizations. As we've seen, each country brings its own unique perspective to leadership and the use of power. These differences can be a source of strength, fostering creativity and adaptability. However, they can also lead to misunderstandings and friction, especially in multinational teams. Leaders must be aware of these cultural nuances and adapt their approach accordingly. By recognizing and respecting these differences, organizations can build stronger, more resilient teams that thrive in a global environment. Beyond individual leadership styles, international companies must also decide how to structure their organizational cultures. There are several models to choose from, each with its own advantages and challenges. The three most common approaches are polycentric, global, and geocentric or transnational cultures. Let's take a closer look at what each of these models entails and how they shape the way companies operate across borders. Polycentric culture model allows each country or subsidiary to develop its own strong local subculture. While the parent company provides overall guidance, local teams are given significant autonomy to adapt practices to their specific context. This approach encourages local understanding, creativity, and responsiveness to market needs. However, it also requires careful coordination to ensure that all units remain aligned with the company's core philosophy and value. Polycentric cultures offer several key benefits. By empowering local teams, companies can tap into deep market knowledge and cultural insights. This often leads to more innovative solutions and stronger relationships with customers and partners. At the same time, the risk is that different units may drift apart, making it harder to maintain a unified brand and strategy. Successful polycentric organizations invest in strong communication and shared values to bridge these gaps. Global culture model takes a different approach. Here, the parent company's culture is imposed on all subsidiaries, creating a consistent and predictable environment. This can simplify coordination and reduce costs as everyone follows the same rules and procedures. However, it may also stifle local creativity and make it harder to adapt to unique market conditions. Striking the right balance between consistency and flexibility is a key challenge for global organizations. Global culture offers clear advantages in terms of efficiency and control. With everyone operating under the same set of expectations, companies can streamline processes and ensure quality standards are met worldwide. This predictability can be especially valuable in highly regulated industries or when rapid scaling is required. However, leaders must remain alert to the risk of alienating local teams and missing out on valuable local insights. Geocentric or transnational culture model seeks to create a new original culture that draws from the international community of all employees. Rather than simply blending existing cultures, this approach aims to forge a unique identity that reflects the best of each. It's the most demanding model, requiring deep collaboration, open-mindedness, and a willingness to challenge old assumptions. But when done well, it can be the most inclusive and innovative. Building a geocentric culture is no easy task. It demands ongoing dialogue, mutual respect, and a commitment to learning from one another. Leaders must be skilled at managing diversity and fostering a sense of belonging for all employees. The process can be slow and sometimes uncomfortable as old habits are questioned and new ways of working are developed. Yet the rewards can be substantial: greater innovation, stronger engagement, and a truly global mindset. Each organizational culture model offers distinct strengths and weaknesses. Polycentric cultures excel at local adaptation and creativity but risk fragmentation. Global cultures provide consistency and efficiency but may suppress local innovation. Geocentric cultures strive for inclusivity and originality, though they require significant effort to maintain. The best choice depends on the company's goals, industry, and the specific markets it serves. Leaders must carefully weigh these factors when designing their global strategies. For managers working in foreign subsidiaries, the challenges go beyond organizational models. These leaders must navigate the personal and professional dilemmas of living and working in a different culture. They are often caught between the expectations of headquarters and the realities of the local environment. How they adapt can make the difference between success and failure, both for themselves and for their teams. Expatriate managers tend to fall into one of four adaptation models. Each comes with its own set of challenges and implications for the organization. Understanding these models can help companies better support their international leaders and avoid common pitfalls. Let's explore each model in detail, starting with the independent agents. Dependent agents are managers who feel no strong loyalty to either the local unit or headquarters. They tend to operate autonomously, focusing on their own goals rather than aligning with broader organizational objectives. While this independence can sometimes lead to creative solutions, it often results in a lack of cohesion and missed opportunities for collaboration. Organizations must find ways to engage these managers and connect them to the company's mission. Main risk with independent agents is their detachment from both the local team and headquarters. This can lead to inconsistent practices, poor communication, and a lack of shared purpose. Over time, these issues can undermine trust and performance. Companies should provide clear expectations, regular feedback, and opportunities for these managers to connect with others in the organization. Local patriots are managers who fully embrace the local culture and align themselves closely with the local unit. While this can help build strong relationships and local credibility, it may also lead to a loss of connection with headquarters. These managers risk becoming isolated from the broader organization and may struggle to implement central directives. Balancing local loyalty with organizational alignment is a key challenge for local patriots. Main challenge for local patriots is maintaining a connection to the company's overall mission and strategy. When managers become too focused on local interests, they may resist change or fail to adopt new initiatives from headquarters. This can create tension and slow down organizational progress. Companies should encourage open dialogue and provide support to help these managers bridge the gap between local and global priorities. Managers take the opposite approach, rigidly imposing headquarters methods without considering local needs. These managers often struggle to gain the trust and cooperation of their local teams. By ignoring cultural differences, they risk alienating employees and undermining performance. Successful global leaders must learn to adapt central directives to fit the local context, rather than simply enforcing them. Managers who reject the need for adaptation can create significant problems for their organizations. Their inflexibility can lead to low morale, high turnover, and missed opportunities for growth. It's essential for companies to select and train managers who are open to learning and capable of balancing global standards with local realities. Integrators represent the ideal adaptation model for expatriate managers. These leaders are skilled at implementing central directives while also integrating local interests. They build strong relationships with both headquarters and local teams, fostering trust and collaboration. Integrators are flexible, open-minded, and committed to the company's overall mission. Their ability to bridge cultural divides makes them invaluable assets in any global organization. Successful integrators share several key traits. They are excellent communicators, able to listen and adapt to different perspectives. They have a clear understanding of their role and the company's expectations. Importantly, they are given real autonomy to make decisions and adapt strategies as needed. Companies can support integrators by providing clear role definitions, ongoing training, and opportunities for professional growth. Role clarity is essential for integrators to succeed. When managers understand their responsibilities and the boundaries of their authority, they can act confidently and make informed decisions. Clear communication from headquarters, combined with support from local teams, helps integrators navigate complex situations and avoid misunderstandings. This clarity also reduces stress and increases job satisfaction. Granting real autonomy is another critical factor for integrators. When managers are trusted to make decisions and adapt strategies, they are more likely to feel engaged and committed. Empowered leaders can respond quickly to local challenges and seize new opportunities. This sense of ownership drives performance and innovation, benefiting both the local unit and the broader organization. Repatriation planning is often overlooked but is vital for long-term success. When expatriate managers return home, they bring valuable international experience and insights. Companies should have clear plans in place to reintegrate these leaders, making the most of their skills and knowledge. This not only benefits the organization but also helps retain top talent and maintain motivation among future expatriates. Careful selection of expatriate managers is crucial. Not everyone is suited to the challenges of working abroad. Companies should look for candidates with strong intercultural skills, adaptability, and a willingness to learn. Assessing these qualities during the selection process can help ensure that managers are prepared for the demands of international assignments. Ongoing training and development are essential for expatriate managers. This includes not only technical and business skills but also cultural awareness and communication strategies. Regular training helps managers stay up to date with best practices and adapt to changing circumstances. It also signals the company's commitment to their success, boosting morale and engagement. Success of expatriate assignments often depends on the well-being of managers' families. Companies should provide support for relocation, schooling, and cultural adaptation. When families feel supported, managers can focus more fully on their work and are more likely to succeed in their roles. This holistic approach benefits both the individual and the organization. Global networks are a powerful resource for expatriate managers. By connecting with peers across the organization, managers can share experiences, solve problems, and access valuable knowledge. Companies should encourage networking through formal programs, mentorship, and regular communication. These connections help managers feel less isolated and more engaged with the company's mission. Regular feedback and performance reviews are essential for expatriate managers. Constructive feedback helps managers understand what's working and where they can improve. Performance reviews should consider both business results and the ability to adapt to local cultures. This balanced approach ensures that managers are recognized for their achievements and supported in their development. Celebrating the successes of expatriate managers is important for motivation and retention. Recognition can take many forms, from formal awards to public praise or career advancement opportunities. When managers feel valued for their contributions, they are more likely to stay engaged and committed to the organization's goals. Not every expatriate assignment will be a success, and that's okay. Companies should create a culture where learning from failure is encouraged. When managers feel safe to share their experiences and lessons learned, the entire organization benefits. This openness fosters innovation and continuous improvement, making the company stronger in the long run. Mentorship is a valuable tool for supporting expatriate managers. Experienced mentors can provide guidance, share insights, and help managers navigate complex situations. Formal mentorship programs create a sense of community and accelerate professional growth. Companies should encourage mentoring relationships as part of their global leadership development strategy. Effective cross-cultural communication is at the heart of successful global leadership. Managers must be able to listen, interpret, and respond to diverse perspectives. This requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to learn. Companies can support communication through training, translation services, and technology. Strong communication builds trust and helps teams overcome cultural barriers. Technology plays a crucial role in connecting global teams and supporting expatriate managers. Tools like video conferencing, instant messaging, and collaborative platforms make it easier to share information and stay connected. Companies should invest in user-friendly technology and provide training to ensure everyone can participate fully. When used effectively, technology can bridge distances and foster a sense of unity. Measuring the success of global leadership requires more than just financial results. Companies should track a range of indicators, including employee engagement, cultural adaptation, and knowledge transfer. Regular assessments help identify strengths and areas for improvement. By taking a holistic view, organizations can ensure that their global leadership strategies are delivering real value. Global leadership is an ongoing journey, not a destination. Companies must continually assess their strategies, learn from experience, and adapt to changing circumstances. This commitment to continuous improvement ensures that organizations remain agile and competitive in a rapidly evolving world. Leaders who embrace this mindset are better equipped to navigate the complexities of global business. Let's look at a real-world example of successful integration. A multinational company assigned an experienced manager to lead a new subsidiary in Asia. By building strong relationships with both local staff and headquarters, the manager was able to implement global standards while respecting local customs. The result was a highly engaged team, improved performance, and a model for future assignments. This case highlights the power of integrators in bridging cultural divide. From our exploration, several key lessons emerge. First, cultural awareness is essential for effective global leadership. Second, organizational culture models must be chosen carefully to fit the company's goals and markets. Third, expatriate managers need support, training, and autonomy to succeed. Finally, continuous learning and adaptation are the hallmarks of successful global organizations. As the world becomes more interconnected, the demands on global leaders will only increase. Companies that invest in cultural competence, flexible structures, and strong support systems will be best positioned to thrive. The future belongs to those who can lead across borders, embrace diversity, and turn cultural complexity into a source of strength. Conclusion: leading across borders is both a challenge and an opportunity. By understanding cultural differences, choosing the right organizational models, and supporting expatriate managers, companies can unlock the full potential of their global teams. The journey is ongoing, but with the right mindset and strategies, success is within reach. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of global leadership and the expatriate challenge. Start by revisiting the leadership matrix. This model helps us visualize the balance between directive and engaging approaches, as well as the focus on operations versus strategy. Every leadership challenge can be mapped onto this grid, guiding us in choosing the right approach for the situation. Whether you're setting clear expectations or inspiring a shared vision, understanding where you are on this matrix is the first step to effective leadership. This framework isn't just theoretical, it's a practical tool for diagnosing challenges and adapting your style. Balanced leadership means knowing when to be directive, providing clear instructions, setting boundaries, and making decisions, and when to be engaging, inviting input, fostering collaboration, and empowering others. Neither style is inherently better. The key is knowing which to use and when. For example, in a crisis, a directive approach may be necessary, while in a creative project, engaging others' ideas leads to better outcomes. Mastering this balance is at the heart of effective leadership. Leadership isn't just about managing day-to-day operations, it's also about setting a strategic direction. Operational leadership ensures that tasks get done efficiently and standards are met. Strategic leadership, on the other hand, is about envisioning the future, setting long-term goals, and aligning people around a shared purpose. Balanced leaders move fluidly between these two realms, ensuring both immediate results and sustainable growth. Emotional intelligence is the foundation of the engaging leadership style. Leaders who are self-aware, empathetic, and skilled at managing their own emotions can build stronger relationships and inspire trust. But emotional intelligence also supports strategic visioning, helping leaders sense the mood of the organization and anticipate how people will respond to change. In every leadership context, emotional intelligence is a critical asset. Understanding power dynamics in organizational culture is essential for both directive and strategic leadership. Leaders must know how to use legitimate authority appropriately, but also how to shape the culture to support long-term goals. Power isn't just about hierarchy, it's about influence, relationships, and the ability to create an environment where people can do their best work. Culture, meanwhile, sets the tone for how things get done and what behaviors are valued. Effective leaders understand team dynamics and know how to blend directive and engaging behaviors. Setting clear rules and expectations provides structure, while maintaining cohesion and morale requires empathy and open communication. Teams thrive when leaders can flex between these modes, responding to the needs of the group and the demands of the situation. This balance is what keeps teams both productive and resilient. Conflict is inevitable in any organization, but balanced leaders see it as an opportunity for growth. The key is to choose the right approach for the situation. Sometimes a firm directive stance is needed, while other times engaging all parties in dialogue leads to better solutions. By drawing on the full spectrum of leadership styles, you can resolve conflicts constructively and strengthen your team in the process. Balanced leadership is not about following a checklist or rigid formula. It's a dynamic mindset that embraces complexity and change. Leaders must be comfortable with ambiguity and willing to experiment, learn, and adapt. This means letting go of the idea of perfection and instead focusing on continuous improvement. The best leaders are those who see every challenge as a chance to grow and refine their approach. Complete mental model of leadership helps you navigate its contradictory demands. This means understanding that leadership often involves balancing competing priorities, such as stability and change, control and empowerment, short-term results, and long-term vision. By developing a robust mental model, you can make better decisions and respond more effectively to complex situations. Situational awareness is the ability to accurately read the context and adjust your leadership style accordingly. For example, a crisis may call for decisive directive action, while an innovation project benefits from a more engaging collaborative approach. Leaders with strong situational awareness can diagnose what's needed and respond with agility, ensuring the best outcomes for their teams and organizations. Behavioral versatility is the hallmark of balanced leadership. It's the ability to shift seamlessly between different styles, transactional and transformational, directive and delegating, depending on what the situation demands. This flexibility allows leaders to meet the needs of diverse teams and changing environments, making them more effective and resilient. Personal mastery is about understanding and managing your own emotions, biases, and motivations. Leaders who practice personal mastery are more self-aware, resilient, and authentic. They can inspire trust and model the behaviors they want to see in others. This inner work is essential for leading others effectively and creating a positive organizational culture. Systems thinking enables leaders to see the bigger picture and understand how different elements, power, culture, group dynamics interact. By adopting a systems perspective, leaders can anticipate unintended consequences, identify leverage points, and design more effective interventions. This holistic approach is crucial for navigating complexity and driving sustainable change. The ultimate goal of balanced leadership is to move beyond managing tasks to leading people. This means shifting your focus from simply getting things done to inspiring, developing, and empowering others. Leaders who make this transition become shapers of culture and guides for the future, creating environments where both individuals and organizations can thrive. Balanced leaders are comfortable with paradox. They can hold seemingly contradictory ideas at once, such as stability and change or control and freedom. Rather than seeing these as problems to solve, they view them as tensions to manage. This mindset allows leaders to navigate complexity with confidence and creativity. Leadership is a lifelong journey of learning and self-reflection. The most effective leaders are those who remain curious, seek feedback, and are always looking for ways to improve. By embracing a growth mindset, you can adapt to new challenges and keep evolving as a leader. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for leadership development. By regularly examining your actions, decisions, and motivations, you can identify areas for improvement and reinforce your strengths. This practice helps you stay aligned with your values and ensures that your leadership remains authentic and effective. Balanced leadership is about making deliberate choices, not just reacting to circumstances. This means pausing to consider your options, weighing the potential impacts, and choosing the approach that best serves your team and organization. Deliberate choice is what separates great leaders from those who simply go through the motions. Today's leaders operate in environments that are more complex than ever. Navigating this complexity requires a blend of analytical thinking, emotional intelligence, and practical wisdom. By integrating these skills, you can make sense of ambiguity, identify patterns, and lead your organization through uncertainty. Balanced leaders create environments where people and organizations can thrive. This means fostering psychological safety, encouraging innovation, and supporting both individual and collective growth. When people feel valued and empowered, they bring their best selves to work, driving performance and engagement. Feedback is essential for growth and improvement. Balanced leaders seek feedback from multiple sources and use it to refine their approach. They also provide constructive feedback to others, helping their teams develop and succeed. Creating a culture of open feedback leads to higher trust and better results. Empowerment is a core principle of balanced leadership. By giving people autonomy and responsibility, leaders unlock their team's potential and foster a sense of ownership. Empowered teams are more engaged, creative, and resilient in the face of challenges. Compelling vision and clear sense of purpose inspire people to go beyond the ordinary. Balanced leaders articulate a vision that connects individual aspirations to organizational goals, creating meaning and motivation. This alignment is what drives sustained performance and commitment. Trust is the foundation of effective leadership. Leaders build trust by being consistent, transparent, and authentic. When people trust their leaders, they are more willing to take risks, share ideas, and collaborate. Trust accelerates progress and strengthens relationships across the organization. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward. Balanced leaders cultivate resilience in themselves and their teams by maintaining perspective, learning from failure, and supporting each other through challenges. Resilient organizations are better equipped to adapt and thrive in changing environments. Change is a constant in today's world. Balanced leaders guide their teams through change by communicating clearly, addressing concerns, and involving people in the process. They help others see change as an opportunity rather than a threat, building momentum for transformation. Effective decision-making is at the core of leadership. Balanced leaders gather input, weigh options, and make timely decisions. They are willing to take calculated risks and learn from the outcomes, adjusting their approach as needed. Good decisions drive progress and build confidence. Leaders set the tone for their organizations by modeling the values they want to see. Whether it's integrity, respect, or innovation, living your values builds credibility and inspires others to do the same. Consistency between words and actions is key to authentic leadership. Balanced leaders are committed to developing others. They provide opportunities for growth, offer guidance and support, and challenge people to reach their full potential. Investing in others' development creates a culture of learning and drives long-term success. Innovation thrives in environments where people feel safe to experiment and share new ideas. Balanced leaders encourage creativity by supporting risk-taking and learning from failure. They create space for innovation by removing barriers and celebrating progress. Performance management is about setting clear expectations, providing regular feedback, and recognizing achievements. Balanced leaders hold people accountable while also supporting their development. This approach drives high performance and continuous improvement. A sense of community strengthens organizations and enhances engagement. Balanced leaders build community by fostering inclusion, encouraging collaboration, and celebrating shared successes. When people feel connected, they are more committed and motivated. Adaptability is a critical skill for leaders in a fast-changing world. Balanced leaders stay flexible, adjust their strategies as needed, and help their teams navigate uncertainty. By modeling adaptability, you encourage others to embrace change and stay resilient. Ethical leadership is about making decisions that are not only effective but also principled. Balanced leaders consider the broader impact of their actions and hold themselves to high standards of integrity. This builds trust and sets a positive example for others. Diversity brings a wealth of perspectives and ideas. Balanced leaders leverage diversity by creating inclusive environments where everyone's voice is heard. This leads to better decision-making, greater innovation, and stronger teams. Humility is a powerful leadership trait. Balanced leaders acknowledge their limitations, seek input from others, and are willing to admit mistakes. Leading with humility builds trust and encourages a culture of learning and collaboration. Courage is essential for making tough decisions and standing up for what's right. Balanced leaders demonstrate courage by taking risks, challenging the status quo, and advocating for their values. Courage inspires others and drives positive change. Clear communication is vital for effective leadership. Balanced leaders articulate their vision, expectations, and feedback in ways that are easy to understand. They listen actively and ensure that everyone is on the same page, reducing confusion and building alignment. Celebrating achievements, both big and small, boosts morale and reinforces positive behaviors. Balanced leaders recognize individual and team accomplishments, creating a culture of appreciation. This not only motivates people but also strengthens the sense of community. Balanced leaders understand the importance of work-life balance. They model healthy boundaries and encourage their teams to prioritize well-being. Supporting work-life balance leads to higher engagement, lower burnout, and better overall performance. Sustaining momentum requires ongoing focus and energy. Balanced leaders keep their teams motivated by setting clear goals, celebrating progress, and addressing obstacles quickly. This ensures that initiatives don't lose steam and that the organization continues to move forward. Every leader leaves a legacy. Balanced leaders think beyond their immediate results and consider the long-term impact of their actions. By focusing on developing others, shaping culture, and driving positive change, you can leave a lasting mark on your organization and the people you serve. Leadership is not a destination but a practice. It requires ongoing learning, reflection, and adaptation. Balanced leaders embrace this journey, continually seeking to grow and improve. By committing to the practice of leadership, you set yourself and your organization up for lasting success. As we conclude this series, remember that leadership is a lifelong journey. The balanced leader is not a perfect, static ideal but a practitioner who skillfully navigates complexity, embraces paradox, and creates environments where both people and organizations can thrive. Continue to learn, reflect, and make deliberate choices. Your journey as a leader is just beginning, and the impact you make will shape the future.